meron tayong onting technical difficulties ang nangyari doon. Si Kuya Kalois kanya nakapagtimpla pa ng kape. Ba't ka nagkakape na ba ng gabi? Alam mo, marami pa tayong...
Tsaa!
Hindi kape na. Yung...
Di ba, di ba Lipton tayo? Lipton Bros!
Expired na, tol.
Ano ba yan?
Pagkabasa ko, best before 2021, sakto, yung 04. May na, tol. Awit na.
Ayun lang. Ayun lang. Malay mo, gumana pa, di ba? May amats. Konti.
Baka habang nagsa-shout ka ako dito, mapatakbo ako dun sa banyo.
Hindi. Malay mo, nalipad ka na, no? Hindi mo alam. Dude, pare, oh. Ang ganda ng class.
Dude, pare, look at this Oriana with the like shock. Pare, with the higop-higop.
Wow! Oh my God.
Anyway, kami ay buryong-buryo na kasi gusto namin makakita ng malupit na Wild Rift. Si Kuya mo Isaac is gonna in the picture kasi init na siya. Kanina pa siya binubugahan ng apoy ni Kuya Timo. Nagdala pa. Mayroon pang bimpo.
Hindi ito bimpo, men. Isang buong tuwalya ba?
Ay, isang buong tuwalya. Kuya Isaac! What is going on? Anyway. Sige. Ayun na! Kuya Isaac!
No!
Ban!
Bakit? Nakikita ko na! Oh no!
Ganito yan.
Oh no!
Tinanggal nila yung Garen. Pero ganun pa.
Oh no! Ba't hindi nyo kinuha?
Mas nakakatawa, no?
Ba't hindi nyo kinuha?
Meron na, naging bato pa.
Ay!
Pero feeling ko nakikinig sila sa atin. Na ayaw nila.
Ayaw, mas nakakatakot ang Ziggs Ezreal eh.
Pero wala, yung ating SV Empire sigurong mukhang decidido na kunin to.
Okay, so hindi kahit yung SV Empire, hindi
Pero
na kinuha, okay.
Kada makikita yung ngiti, kinikilabutan talaga ako dito sa 6 na to eh.
Oo, men. Pareho kami ng ngiti eh.
Abot tenga.
Oo.
Ganong kalaking ngiti. Pero binan pala nila yung ano, quiz, yung Garen natin, tapos Fiora.
Matik. Nagtataka pa rin ako.
Ha?
Kaysa Alistar. Respect ban.
Respect.
Likely to be a respect ban by SV Empire.
Kung dalawang beses nila gagawin consecutively, respect ba yan?
Pero more or less nag-swap na sila dito Akali now being picked up. No Garen. So Akali will go to the side of SB Empire. Parang yun lang yung nagkaiba eh. Well, aside from the prom and the Garen. Still looks fairly similar, no?
Goods yung ganyan for the Ziggs na meron siyang tipong support na like a Brom. But si Mobile Legends naman yung nag-enchanter, no?
Oo.
Di siya naka-bruise ko ngayon. Nakatamang protect.
Tingnan mo naman, no? Yung mga border nila. Diyos ko po, napakayami. Pangarap ko rin magkaroon ng challenger border kahit isang beses lang. Pangarap na lang yun eh.
Ako kahit ano lang, kahit master lang, o sa totoo lang. Hanggang talagang...
Iniisip ko nga mag-rockdown eh. Makuha ko lang yung gold na border.
Basta ako, parang mas gusto ko yung master lang, purplish. Medyo favorite color ko rin din. Kasi parang yung yung edad ko, yung fingers ko, hanggang diamond lang talaga abot. Tapos sagad yun Sagad talaga yun. Tapos parang pula diamond 4.
Sagad to the bones.
Dinadaig na ako ng mga batang mas magagaling mag-cellphone sa akin. Parang nai-slow reacts na ako.
Ano lang yan, no? My mind's telling me no!
But
my body! Ganun na yan eh, no? Hindi na natin kaya sumabay. In terms of, body reactions.
We know.
Pero yung utak natin, alam nila gustong gawin eh.
Alam ko yung intention ko, alam ko yung direction ko when playing. Kaya nga para mas komportable ako mag-mid or mag-support. Kasi nga, pag-support, di ba, more on decision making eh. Sa mid lane naman din, more on decide whether to wave clear. Also quite good for jungling. Maganda rin. Pero yung hanggang mundo lang, yung very basic lang. Tinatry ko mag-spam ng Lee Sin Pero nakakapitalize ko lang naman din yung Lee Sin kasi alam na alam ko paano ako pupunta. Katulad ng mga ganyan, I'd rather invade. Pero naisip niya siguro kasi wala siyang vision doon. Pag hindi tumama yung hindi. Pag hindi na tumamak yung Sonic Wave mo, parang pointless na rin gumo in. Pero pag ganyan tumama, you have the Uy! Hold up!
Ganun ha?
Ganun, no? Ano to no? Parang showman, si Hush, tingin ko. Kasi parang feeling niya nasa kanya na yung attention. Uy! Nakakuha ni Ace as meter. Oo, nakulanganin yung smite ni Hush doon. Oo. Tapos, ginawa, eventually, in-smite din ni Ash meter kasi nakita niya na buhay pa. This is a level 4 Gragas against this Lee Sin. That's a red buff. Buti na lang on cooldown ang ating safeguard for that time. Pero double scuttler, Kuya Isaac, no, ang mangyayari dito.
Double scuttler being secured right now by the MJF Aces. Good for them. Kasi, eto uwi yung Lee Sin. No? They can potentially get this. Force sila eh. I don't think they're gonna be contesting this anymore. Yep, that's a double scuttler. And now that they have double scuttler, that means the rotations coming in from SB Empire, they will be aware.
Definitely. And Ash meter, maximizing, optimizing kanyang pathing to clear as much comes within his path, no? Makakuha na siya ng double scuttler. Meron pa siya rito makakuha. Tamang counter jungling din. Pero, si ating Hush, no, medyo ma-delay. I don't think na level 5 pa siya. Pero di natin makita. I can't see.
Mahirap to, men. Challenging.
Challenging to.
Challenging
Kasi dapat talaga yung Lee Sin sa early. May establish sila yung kahit before level 5. Magkaroon siya ng kahit ahead, piso pa. With the last hit, that's gonna be the level 5. Siguro, this will open up. Pwede na siya tumiskate. Pwede na siya umahanap ng pwedeng ma-set up. And the usual Lee Sin. The things that Lee Sin should do. Pero hindi to yung usual Lee Sin pressure na alam natin. Kasi
kumbaga, tapos na yung oras na yun.
Oo, yung window time na yun. Kasi as early as dalawang scuttler nakuha, tapos as early as before level 5, si Gragas natin, kaya isa din niya sa mga nakakatakot ng jungle no? Dapat iban din. For the very reason na malakas kasi sa jungle, pero also flexible. Pwede siyang baron lane and also sometimes mid lane, no? Full AP Gragas.
Tama. It's a battle right now, no? Between Ash meter and Hush. Whoever can dictate the pace will allow their team to snowball in terms of map control. But right now, no, map control is going to the side of the MJF Aces. They're playing better in controlling the scuttler because of that early skirmish between Gragas and the Lee Sin. So ngayon, question of the matter is, who's going to take the first dragon? They have the positioning advantage right now, but they're not prioritizing the mountain drake just yet. Uunahin muna ni Ash meter yung red buff niya before anything. But the wards though, makikita nyo ngayon, madaming wards ang SV.
Kinakalat na agad mismo. For SV Empire as well as MJF Aces. I think itong MJF Aces is also recognizing yung strengths na meron dito sa SV Empire natin. That's gonna be quite an early glacial fissure. Trying to get, I think that's a miscommunication on MJF Aces behind. Kailangan dito, very confident ng SV Empire natin dito mag-start ng Dragon. Pero they're putting distance. They're gonna open the distance.
No.
That's gonna be the moonfall dito. Mega Inferno map ng gagaling. Si Akril, nakapaganda ng kanyang posisyon. Pero na-rest ang mga tropa niya na nawawala na. Ito na yung concussive blow. 3-man down, MJF Aces. Yung damage, kahit may slow yan si Carl so good, he's gonna feel so good. And he's going to clean up kung ano ang meron man dito sa MJF Aces. Kahit nakuha man ang Dragon. Dahil nagkulang kayo ng ultimate doon, yung Glacial Fissure. Masyadong maaga mong binitaw. At yun, nakaporma ang SB Empire natin, Kuya Isaac doon.
Libex. That's that kind of initiation. Oo, the Moonfall, very beneficial. Pero, sila nag-buy time sila in a sense na tamang targeting tayo. Huwag tayo kung sino-sino lang target. Sama-sama sila sa isang target, tapos inisa-isa nila until na-ace nila ang MJF Aces, no? Ironically, the name, of course, MJF Aces, they got aced in that first dragon, but they have control right now over this Herald Pit. Yes, the vision, again, going to the side of SV Empire, pero with 4 members being committed dito, ngayon pa lang magko-collapse, posibleng ma-steal to, the kick is gonna come in, the kick will come, and it is not going to be a steal, but the Gragas being dealt a lot of damage. Mafo-force back sila, but now, the question is, no, ano gagawin dito ng MJF Aces? They're gonna be forced back. And since they're forced back, SVM pa rin isip nila, okay, hindi natin nakuha yung Herald, we need to get something in return. What they're going to do is push the top lane tower.
And securing that top lane tower. What will they do and what will they do? What is the current status natin, Kuya Direk dyan? So, we will have a fair idea of what really is going on. Oh, Hex Drinker for this Camille, no? Kasi high AP damage din naman from the side of SV Empire. Will it be beneficial? That is the question we will see. Ito, even si Brom, no? It's interestingly, Stone Plate Enchant, pero it's a boost of swiftness, no? More, siguro he's looking to be active around the map. Ang magiging diskarte niya is gonna, okay lang kung kulang siya sa armor, okay lang kulang siya sa magic resist. As long as he is present para sa unbreakable and to get that engages, sana nga lang hindi maulit yung ginawa niya kasi medyo galit sa atas sa lupa nun eh. Nagka-miscommunications doon, malabang, that's gonna be the Mega Inferno ba? Explosive cast, ito na naman, double man, Desal Fissure doon, pero yung mobility at yung mga flash na kailangan i-burn ng ating SV Empire will be enough for them to survive. Pero that's quite critical, Kasi, wala pa naman din wala pa naman din Dragon.
Not yet,
Not yet, so,
mga later pa yan. Pero yung estado ngayon, in terms of the map control, 2 towers already taken by SV Empire. They're losing in terms of the neutral objectives, like the Herald and the Drake. But other than that, tower-wise, all side lanes are gone. Second tower na agad yung side lanes. Yung mid lane nila, posibleng sumunod na. Pero mukhang ito, magkakaroon ng bakbakan kasi pumasok na with an insect kick coming in. Hextech ultimatum is not enough to save his life. That is going to be 1 down. The Aces coming in again is a beautiful moonfall. 2 dead, trying to run. It's enough. Akali comes in with the clutch 5-point execution, and now 3 members go down for the MJF Aces. SV Empire, just when you think, na losing sila, bigla-bigla silang umariba. Look at the kick. Bang! Beautiful.
Grabe. Pag ganun, kinikilig talaga ako kasi Lee May. Galing talaga, men. I mean,
napakaganda.
Oo, yung mga daliri yata nito.
Men, 5 daliri.
Oo, men. Parang sobrang accuracy.
Oo. Sobrang accuracy, no?
O sobrang asintadong accuracy.
Sobrang accurated.
Incorporated.
Oo. Jabated.
Oo.
But now, the story here, sinama nila Herald dito sa mid lane. Okay, they summoned that Herald. Wala, hindi umabot. Ganon katindi damage output dito ng SU Empire. Painful. But there is no Akali right now for the next second or so. Babiyahe pa tong Akali na to bago umabot dito sa Cloud Drake, and it doesn't look like they're prioritizing that right now. Diba? Ayun, ginamit pa True Shot Barrage to clear that wave. Hindi makakapag-push dito si Sera sa top lane. Akali's gonna be there for the counter. Counter defense, so that the wave and the tower will not be taken out. Yung Janna nakapwesto dito sa mid lane. That means 4 members, including the reset coming in from the Ezreal, can now slowly transition to the Cloud Drake. And if they transition to that Cloud Drake, all they need to do is survive the initial burst of damage coming in from the Aces. Tamang sipa naman nila. The Stasis is gonna be there. Lee Sin might actually fall. The Mega Inferno Pop and the Glacial Fisher was committed on the Lee Sin, but it's not gonna be enough because now the Braum and the rest of the members of MJF Aces are gonna fall down. Make that 4. Takbo na lang po, mga kaibigan. Hindi naging sapat yung damage para patumbahin etong si Akril. But that, with 3 members down, means the second Drake of this game is going to SV Empire.
Cloud Drake din yan. Especially sobrang beneficial, lalo sa at least 3 silang klaseng assassin. You can consider itong natin itong Lee Sin natin as an assassin. Might as well itong Diana with the mobility in the Lunar Rush. Kagandahan nga lang din sa kanya, meron siya nung Moonfall. Pero for me, yung characteristic talaga ng isang Diana is very much assassin-like. Of course, yung ano natin, Akali, with that extra move speed on top of the Janna passive, SBA Empire will be across the map, will be everywhere. No? And it, 10k gold lead right now and established nila. And interesting na itong Akali natin, going for the traditional kind of Akali, Hextech Gunblade and immediately Rabadabadon. Pero naka-run siya ng TP, siguro he's gonna look to get some duels against this Camille. As we can see na nagpa-pressure siya onto the bottom side of the map. Pero dun sa early dragon fight na yon, tulad ng sabi natin, isang Lee Sin hindi lang initiate, pwedeng debate. At ayun na ayun ang ginawa ng ating Hush doon. Sabi niya, shh! Hush! Let me get your ultis. Glacial Fissure here, Mega Inferno Bomb there, Explosive Cast here, and wala na. Tapos saka na pumasok ang SB Empire, nag-moonfall, ng tamang damage lang, Ezreal with the free hit. Pero, Diana with the exhaust is gonna get focused, pero mabubuhay pa ata. Here comes the Lee Sin from the back, but the Gragas is gonna go down with the Hextech Ultimatum. Akali, si Pabu, zoning out, this Ziggs, but the Ziggs with the rage is a bit too much, pero may flash out pa ang ating Corki natin dito. Yung MJF Aces natin, no? Kahit anong engage, they are doing some outplays right now. If you look at him,
na-punish ng sobra-sobra SU Empire doon. Look at the targeting, no? The dive in from the back with the Lee Sin. The Akali was prioritizing the Gragas.
Yung Akali ba?
Diba?
Double kill. Binawi.
Okay.
Binawi. Matilok kayo, push kayo sa mid.
Oh my god.
Ubusin
ang ganda na ng win doon. Sayang. Kasi yung targeting
na.
ng yung targeting ng SB Empire yung nakasira sa kanila doon eh. They left the Corki, they left the Camille, diving the backline. Hindi na protect yung Diana na low health, hindi na protect yung Ezreal. They focused on Akrill, on that Ziggs. And because of that decision, halos na ubos-ubos sila doon. But then, overcommitting to the cause, trying to push the second tower, na-punish sila ng Akali.
Yung Diana, I think from the initial start, talaga, misposition siya. Sarah might be a bit too ambitious on getting a Hextech Ultimatum dito sa Ezreal. Kaya tumayo na lang naging ginto, pero eventually he's gonna get shredded down. Lee Sin is here. Isa-isa, tatlo lang ang merong membro dito sa SB Empire. At ngayon, wala silang jungler. And this might
Can
be
Diana make the play?
a Baron Nashor. But can Diana make the play? Parang
That's
walang willing to zone out.
Ang sakit! Ang sakit! Oh no!
1,000! Do you see the discipline? Did you see the discipline on these players? Despite they did not let that Baron Nashor chance slip away. 1 minute mark. Possible na pwedeng baliktarin ni Libex with the Moonfall, Crescent Strike, and everything Lunar Rush. But MJF Aces, they definitely know what they're doing. Pumasok 1,000 yung health. 1,500, I can see. Focus agad sa Diana. At ngayon, yung isang assassin magpo-focus. And it's gonna go low. That's gonna be quite a numbers advantage. It will take some time for the Akali to go back in the fight. Yung Diana, galing pa sa base, nabiyahe, pero may TP. At tagaw pa nga ni Hash. Itong Ocean Drake natin. But will it be worth it? Libex dito sa may Gedli. Naghahanap lang din naman gandang timing para baksakan. Pero masyado atang makapangyarihan na sa sitwasyon ngayon ng MJF Aces natin. May magagawa at magagawa sila. Baron Nashor buff yan, Kuya Isaac. Kaya walang takot. Kuya Pabu, wala ka mapupuntahan kasi kukulungan ka na, Camille. Eto na, Mega Inferno buff. They're looking to possibly close out this game.
They're just going.
Di na nila pwede i-slip away to. They need to maximize this. Kailangan nila pwede kunin lahat pag pwedeng kunin. Meron sana may dinedicate silang tao dito at least sa bottom lane with the Baron Nashor buff.
The first tower, buhay na buhay.
Pero buhay pa rin, malusog eh. Sayang. Pero at least 2 inhibitor turrets. That's so bad after all.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Oh, pero sana man lang, di ba? Wala na Baron eh.
Ayan. Ubus na Baron nila ngayon. But ito, that's a very big advantage, no? In what was a 10k deficit is now a 1k advantage for MJF Aces. Kung tinatawag mo, comeback Israel, ito yon mga kaibigan.
Mismo.
Bumawi at napakaganda mainly because of the target priority and decision making. Again, sometimes, no, ganda draft nyo, ganda items nyo, pero kung sabaw ay ang targeting nyo, dun kayo madadali. Nadali ang SV Empire because of their targeting and decision in one fight, and then nag-domino effect yon. Look at what happened here. They're having a hard time defending right now from this composition. Mas lalo na nag-scale na ang Ziggs at ang Corki.
But in the later phases of the game, Lee Sin, definitely, even the Akali, no? May expiration date yan. Assassins, and as traditionally known, powerful sila to snowball, but they're only as powerful until mid-game. Once that's over, once yung mga ADCs natin has enough item na ilang pitik lang, ang particularly squishy na assassin can be shredded down immediately in just one skill combo ng mga Corki, ng mga Ziggs natin. It's gonna give Akali, Lee Sin quite the hard time.
Pero hindi na ganoon kadali kumbaga mang-assassinate. Kasi mataas na damage output nila and they have the sustainability at the very least.
And the lifesteal and everything. Wala silang Ocean Drake na nakuha. But there's still could be a possibility ko yung Isaac dito.
There's still life right now, no?
We can't deny the fact and that's a Lee Sin. Will it be another one? That's gonna be the kick. And it's going to be secured by the Gragas. Definitely no. It's a good attempt to go in, but it's not gonna be enough. Is it the Moonfall going to be enough? Nakita mo, ang lambot. Pero, pabo lang ako getting 2. Kahit dalawa. Ang namatay sa kanila, it's gonna be a 3v3. But that's a Baron Nashor buff. And with the minions, and also, itong top lane turrets and mid lane turret natin, no? Wala nang inhibited turret. They can easily penetrate and let the cannon minions focus on this Nexus and get the victory for this best of 3.
Sayang yun. You know, that was I wouldn't call it a throw. I call this a very smart, very smart play by the MJF Aces. Goes to show, no, na it may seem one-sided because of the plays that ML did on the support. Pero pinakita naman niya ng MJF Aces na with the right kind of composition, they can execute completely fine as well. And the smart decision making to target the Ezreal, the Diana, give them a hard time. Umasenso si Pabu, oo. Pero after that, wala nang nagawa yung iba. Kasi tinarget si Hush. Di ba? Naging quiet ang performance niya. 1, 5, and 9.
You supposed
Void was having hard time. Si Akril ganun din. Pero nakabawi.
Yung characteristic kasi usually ng Lee Sin is to debate, di ba? Yung like we've discussed previously on this yung mga previous series na pag-uusapan natin. For this case, yung time na namatay siya and before the first Baron take ng ating MJF Aces, overcommitted, no? He felt that 10k gold lead. Alright, he feels strong. But if you're still a jungler and a Baron Nashor is well and alive, has spawned.
Yun yung
so if you're gonna risk your life as a jungler na may buhay na Baron Nashor, that's definitely gonna cost you.
It's very critical, no, that early game. Yung early game ni Hush was shut down. So the window we were talking about was gone. But then he still attempted. They had a very nice lead, no, 10,000 gold. Pero it turned around because of that one fight in the mid lane.
He was doing things. Kasi nakita natin, meron siyang beautiful kick doon. Getting that Camille and knockback and knocking up din yung Braum on the blue side.
Kaso nag-domino effect eh. After that failed engagement in the mid lane, tuloy-tuloy na sila eh.
Wala na.
Nahuli ng paisa-isa. Pick off after pick off, leading to a first Baron. Si Livex tumayo lang. The moment that dash in came, no? Feeling ko pinipindot niya yung moonfall.
Pero hindi.
Pero hindi niya pala napindot. So,
I
ang
think-
nangyari, nakatayo lang siya doon.
Hmm.
Nagmukha siyang statwa. Nakatayo lang siya doon. Tapos na-poke down siya, hindi niya naagaw. Although, napakaganda ng engagement na yun. Kasi kung sakaling tumama yung moonfall na yun, 4 members immediately from MJF Aces, gone out the window. That would have been, the big turn. Pero the momentum, no, sinakyan talaga ng MJF Aces continuing on. Very, very solid kay Void. Si Void talaga nagdala dito. But at the same time, no, the annoyance that Akril did,
With the Ziggs.
it was a very big deal. Not to mention yung mga dive ni Serra, no? Wala siyang pakialam kung mamamatay siya. Ang importante, nakaka-free hit. Again, it's the power of trading. Yung barter na
1
ginawa
for 2.
ng Aces dito.
Exactly.
Oo. You can get rid of me. And similar to what Comeback Esports does, no? You give away specific champions so that the other 2 champions that you're actually protecting can fully free hit and deal damage. And in the end, sino yung nagbukang squishy doon? It's the Diana.
Diana's
It's the Lee Sin. Hindi na nila kaya sabayan. Di ba? Marshmallow Party in a sense. And it's a tankier composition coming in here from the MJF Aces.
Just needed a little push in
Game
the
3.
early game. Pero eventually, na-push to talaga nila legit. And the way they handled team fights, no, na-realize kasi nila, Assassin's gonna go in, gonna go out almost instantaneously. Pero if there's a window opportunity to get some damage, nakita ko yung coordination nila, yung how they focus on one target. Kasi yung pagdating ng Diana, diba, yung na-caught siya off guard. Yeah. Malapit yung Akali. Malapit din yung Lee Sin. Hindi, malayo yung Lee Sin pala, malapit din yung Akali. Hindi, Diana tayo dito. Kasi mag-moonfall to. Napastasis enchant. Yung mga loko-loko, maya na yan, hindi na lang inabangan. Ay, yung Akali uli natin. And commit na yung Lee Sin. Eto na lang. Lee Sin tayo. So, kalas sila. Distance. Si Lee Sin, mukhang nagparang like a sitting duck. Yan yung sabi mo. Wala sa wala sa makik. Hindi ko alam kung log o lag eh. Basta na na lang. Yung ganong, kasi malakas yung damage output nila Ezreal at nila Ziggs. You just need enough range to deal with it. Pero pag pinagsabay mo yon, kahit sinong assassins mabubura. Matik yun, sir. And what will be the ban? May nagsaradong pinto? Ready ka? Lahat na lang napansin eh.
Dito natin malalaman, no, kung ano ang posibleng mangyari. But now, this is a series. We have ourselves a series. We saw the best parts of the MJF Aces in game number 2. We saw SV Empire showing a dominant performance in game number 1. With both teams 1 apiece, we're down to a best of 1. Who will take game number 3? We will find out depending on the bans. So baka yung bans ngayon, the Kaisa and the Alistar, there's a merit in not getting rid of those anymore.
Parang
I feel like it's mandatory to pick something else na. And
kulay green ba yung hindi, transparent kaya nagiging ganyan.
Lace, fresh buko.
Ano
Ito
ba?
naman yan, inumin natin. Yung lumilipad pa, oh.
Hydration yan.
Oo.
That's good. Meron din akong hydrating dito. Saan na ba yun? Ang aking mahiwagang water. Oh, it's gone. My goodness. But anyway, Kaisa, Alistar, no, ban something necessary. Ban something na hindi kayo mahihirapan talaga. That's a respect ban, but tulad nga na sabi nga natin kanina, hindi naman yung kaya mo
Hindi
pilayin.
naman sa kine-question ko.
Oo.
Kung bakit mo binaban ng Kaisa Alistar. Pero, there are bigger problems. Di ba?
Hindi
I
naman
feel like the decision, kasi di ba, nagpanik ako nung nakita ko yung Ziggs. Tapos hindi nila kinuha. Tapos hindi rin kinuha ng SV Empire. I feel like that in the draft cost them. Because you had a very beautiful opportunity to get Ezreal and Ziggs in one composition. Di ba? And we've seen for a fact na pagdating sa Bren Esports, they have made this work. What more kung SV Empire puts this Ziggs in the mid lane with a double carry setup, a tank support, could have been the winning formula. leading to a 2-0. But they gave away the Ziggs. They went with a Diana, and that Diana pick cost them. Because towards the later stages of the game, hindi na kaya sumabay nung Diana, especially against the Corki.
Even with the lead na na-establish nung Diana, no?
Yep.
Nasi-shred down siya. Like, almost instantly. Bago magbitaw ng Moonfall, the range that Ezreal and Ziggs has para ma-close out yun. Yung poke damage na nanggagaling. Bago ko dumating, half-life ka pre. Tapos tatalunan ko ng mga frontliners ng MJF Aces. Easy secure. But we will see kung ano mangyayari. And ayun, first ban. From, I think that's SV Empire. Usually nakikita natin na ban is yung Kaisa Alistar. And from what I see from the lobby is SV Empire, una nilang ban, Ziggs. Matik yan.
Naku po
Talaga. Nakaupo.
It's the same situation, no?
Nakaupo talaga. Ang
This is this is bad.
1-1 banning yan. Siguro they're gonna settle something, maybe a Camille, Galio, ganun ban. But we aren't completely sure kung ano mangyayari. Let's wait and see. Best of 3 pala. MJF Aces versus SB Empire. And
Andito na actually yung mga Vipers natin, no? Ready na sila mag-ingay. Ang dami ng ahas sa chat natin sa ngayon. Pero may game 3 pa tayo, ladies and gentlemen, no? Tatapusin lang ang game number 3 and then we go ahead straight in to the Vipers and NXG Paradox.
Yes.
But for now, again, it's the story of the game. Who can make the Lee Sin work? Camille and Gragas are banned out. Yan. Understandable.
Understood.
The Camille and the Gragas, they were very high impact champions in that game number 2. Tanggalin natin yung formula na yun. Let's have them pick something else. Let's see what happens. Good stuff. Pero is Kaisa Alistar still a viable ban? That's something we have to actually think about, no? Maybe SV Empire are shooting themselves in the foot for not giving those champions away, or at least take it from themselves. But there has to be a clear reason why they're doing it. And I'm actually very curious why. Diba? Because, Game 2 would have been so much better for them.
Totoo. Parang kasi ang impact sa akin nun, yung ganong bans, parang for the lulz na lang din. Maybe. Well, I don't see any reason why besides for the lulz. Kasi if you're going to ban ganong klaseng champions,
baka ayaw lang nilang kalaban. Ganun lang, no?
Parang trip lang nila ayaw. Pero yun, it costed you, basically, it costed them. And also the way they handled the draft now, yung SV Empire natin, they had the opportunity to get one of the more strongest carries, Ezreal and Ziggs, and even together, yung potential nun as a poke, damage carries, they let that slip away. And will they do the same thing? Kasi sabi mo nga, 50% of drafting is the game. But right now, the final bans are, we will see, it's going to be Ziggs Corki. Okay, understoodable. And
ang daming spam sa chat. Hindi ko na maintindihan. May NXG, may ahas. Nakis-spam na rin ako. Isaac Win. Nakakatawa chat kayo, mga kaibigan. Napaka-lively nyo. Maraming salamat sa pagsuporta, no, sa Lakan Esports events. Huwag nyo kalimutan i-share kasi parating na ang mainit na laban between NXT Paradox at of course Vipers Infinity. But for now, it's a 1-1. SV Empire going up against MJF Aces. This time, the Corki and the Ziggs are banned out. And the first pick is going to be a Kaisa. Answered by Diana. O, diba? Puro ahas.
Sunod-sunod yung maahas.
Oo, tsaka may mga NXG pa na supporters. Very, very good stuff now from this community. But, with the action at hand, this is very interesting to see that the first pick of SV Empire is yung binaban nila, the Kaisa. Diana and Brom picked up by MJF Aces. They can answer with an Ezreal and a Fiora. That means the Fiora will be going to the top lane, supported by the Brom is the Ezreal, and then we have the Diana in the mid lane. Ang hindi na lang alam ng mga ng mga kalaban nila is who the jungler is going to be. But I feel like the more solid composition is coming in from SV Empire. Why? Because of that last pick. It's a Lulu. How are you going to knock down or take out the Kaisa with a Lulu? The Lulu is going to keep this Kaisa alive. Pabu gets the Garen again. And then you have Hush on a Vi, which is much better than a Lee Sin, in a sense that Vi, when you catch someone with assault and battery, sure ball may mapapatay ka. Okay, I'm not saying that Vi is better than Lee Sin as a champion. Pero maraming magagawa ang Vi na to against this kind of composition. The Fiora, the Ezreal, the Diana, you can cancel out the Moonfall. You can catch out the Ezreal. You can also give a hard time to that Fiora, after the repost, pop that assault and battery. What you gonna do when the Vi comes after you? That's the question. But the final pick naman, going back to the MJF Aces, is the Graves. Is there lockdown right now for this Graves? The only lockdown that SV Empire has is a Lulu Polymorph and an Orianna Shockwave along with Assault and Battery. Other than that, nothing else. Diba? Same goes for the Aces, no? Aasa sila sa Moonfall, Glacial Fissure, yung passive stun ni Brom. And then everything else is more of a slow, more of a disable na lang. It's fairly even in crowd control, but lots of damage involved in the coming team fights.
Tama. This Graves, Graves show to. I'm expecting. We need to focus kung ano magiging discarte ni Ashmita kasi he has a lot of freedom right now. He's not, there's an assault and battery, but that's AD. If Graves has enough or has stacked enough true grit, no, para ma-prevent, and particularly yung damage din SV Empire are mostly leaning towards dun sa AD's attack damage. So it's a good matchup against this Graves. And partnered up with the Brom, makikita natin as early as now na andyan na sa red buff yung Brom. And malamang sa malamang, pusta ko sa'yo talaga. Pagkatapos yun ng red na yan, manggugulo yan. Maghahanap yan ng suntukan. Pero, nga pala, tama, list lang pala. Forget what I said. Biglang ganun tao eh. Pero pag nagkaroon ng mga skirmishes, tapos kasama si Brom, nakakatakot yung Graves Brom.
Oo, lalo na sa early game.
Oo.
Unang matatakan, sure ball, patay ka. Kasi wala pang skills para makatakas ang karamihan eh.
Ang hirap din takasan, lalo range na jungler. Na auto-attack base. Kahit kumakasayan ng bala, pag natamaan ka nun, tapos na-stun ka, tapos nalapitan ka, natanggap mo yung 3 bala ng shotgun. Ako, sabi ko sa'yo. Kaya ganyan, as early as now, si Ashmeter, makakahanap talaga ng mga ipagsuntukan yan. Kita mo naman, 2 pitik lang sa isang skill, paulit-ulit, babanatan. Ayan talaga ang hinahanap na laban. And I'm sure na mataas na ang grit niya kasi kanina pa siya dash nandiyan. That's gonna be the ball breaker dito kaya Hashpe.
Oh no!
Yung blue buff. But it's gonna go down eventually with the Diana. Ito na nangyayari. Tignan mo si Brom, galing sa Dragon Lane. Sama ka pre. Kailangan ka dito. Kaya mo lang Ezreal, si Void. Makakapag-ipon na mag-isa yan. May Air King shift yun eh. Pwede naman makatakas sa alangan ng sitwasyon. Di naman din hardcore yung support na may luck eh. Lulo lang din yan, tol. Kaya Gucci din na mag-ikot-ikot talaga tong mga Brom natin. Mas mabuti makasama yung Graves natin. Tignan mo, etong si Carl J. So Goods, magbabalak pa sila Mobile Legends. Kailangan nila bumak out yan. Kailangan nila i-give up yung double scuttler na yan. Kahit nga si Hash, hindi ayaw ko na makipagsuntukan dyan sa mga yan. Kakawawain lang ako. Once na nagsama-sama, nag-holding hands na. Eto na naka-holding hands talaga yung Vi natin, mapapaalakanin, Kuya Derexki. No?
Hinahabol nila eh, di ba? You wanna punish the Vi as much as possible. You punish the Vi, the impact of this Vi is gonna be a lot weaker. And it's going to be harder for anyone to actually lock down the champions of MJF Aces. And something to consider, no? This is an enchanter support. Meaning, more on utility siya. Hindi siya tulad ng Brom na kayang humarap para tumangke, kayang makipagsabayan kahit papano, following up with the own utility that the Brom brings. The Lulu, pag nahuli yan, patayan. Malambot yan. So what does MJF Aces need to do? They shut down the Vi. They shut down the threat of the front line. Without a front line, they need to rely on the Garen to front for them. And if they need to rely on the Garen to front for them, then no one is going to be able to keep this Fiora in check, leading to a free 4-1.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Very, very smart, very, very smart discarte, kumbaga, coming in from MJF Aces. Kasi they can recognize that with an Enchanter support, that means there's no extra tank. And usually, the formula is 2 tanks. Pagka pipili ka ng composition. Pero, nowadays, 3 tanks have done its work eh. You just rely on 2 damage dealers, have 3 tanks play the game for you.
Oh,
And then, oh my god, aray.
And that's good rotation coming from this Brom.
Diba? They recognize na wala namang kailangan masyado gawin yung Brom doon. Have him rotate, help out other lanes.
Out of all
Because this Lulu is not gonna go anywhere.
Kaya nga yung napakagandang Brom pick nito. And to let them have this Brom and for MJF Aces to utilize completely this Brom, getting an Ezreal, getting a Graves, they know what they're doing. And pretty much the draft, the draft shows that they are winning. That's gonna be assault and battery. Maybe a bit too ambitious, pero hindi pala kasi mamamatay na immediately ang ating Graves. And Cardi is so good. Feeling good with the killer instinct. Nagpapaulanan na with the and power ni Kachan rin yun. Medyo marami yun. 4-minute mark na rin pala. Pero mararamdaman mo pa rin ang hapdes team fight. Lulu pa rin yun. So there's a lot. May survivability. Napupunta sa alanganing sitwasyon, almost mamatay. But with just a wild growth, will be enough, to survive. And si Ash Meter,
Ayan
nawala
diba?
agad. But, despite that, tama ka. It will cost them the tower. Kasi kailangan may promonta na Garen.
Exactly. And what did SV Empire get out of that? They got the Ocean Drake, which is good. Adding sustain for this Garen, adding sustain for the Lulu and Kaisa, along with the Orianna, it's something they would need. Pero, again, it's the story of checkmate eh. Ngayon, kailangan na talaga sumama ng Garen eh. So, walang check dito sa Fiora na to, unless you relegate the duo support to face off against the Fiora. Or you have the Orianna do it, which still, you're going to be one man or 2 men down when it comes to the 4-1 split push. In comparison to the usual strat na kaya na dictate ng pace nito si Hash. They shut down Hash so bad in this early game yet again.
Na hindi mo na naramdaman na parang feeling ko hindi na siya makaka-build man ng damage to completely benefit yung meron kasing early strength din ang Vi. Very similar din to Alicin Parang 1 to 5 she's very powerful. Oo, meron siya nung lock na assault and battery. And in the end, nagpo-fall off din siya. Parang nagiging secondary tank siya and somewhat an initiator nangyayari sa kanya. So, hindi yung magiging enough. Dahil nga parang halos nawalan na ng tank dahil sa pagsa-shutdown ng ating MJF Aces dito sa ating Vi. Garen and Garen will be forced to join the team fight. There are times na pag 5 sila, mananalo sila, but they have to keep the Fiora in check. Pag hinayaan lang natin si Fiora, kept on clearing minion waves, and laban lang na laban, basag lang ng basag, magkakapera, magkaka-snowball, magkaka-ahead. Pag ang tuipong to si Sera sumama sa team fight, alam mo talaga napakalaking damage ang meron sa kanila. Yung isang target can go down almost immediately. That's gonna be a solo moonfall from the back nandito. But what a shockwave! Getting 3 members of MJF Aces. Will it be a comeback? No, it's not gonna be. Kasi yung Fiora natin, Lodi, is alive and well. Lance lang siya na Lance. And Diana with a clean up. Pero si Kalji is so good nga, That's gonna be the flash lance. And the red for the counter. Almost getting in with the red buff. Be enough to kill the Zero, but it's not gonna be. Grabe.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Papalagan sila.
Ano pa rin, patas pa rin boxing.
Oo.
Patas na patas.
Pero ito ang ayoko eh. Personal opinion lang guys Ito ang dahilan kung bakit ayoko sa draft ng SV Empire. The heyday of Lulu is long and gone. We have to accept the fact that Lulu is not as good as she once was compared to before because of the meta right now. Kumbaga hindi mo na magagawang beneficial ganito. Yung meron kang Lulu na taga Nice One Baby. Diba? Ito yung nice one baby comp eh.
Yes,
Ang gagawin mo lang, ganyan lulute mo. Let's support this big bad Kaisa. The Kaisa will try to stay alive. That's all Lulu will do. Pop the polymorph onto Kaisa, pop the shield onto
Pero,
Kaisa, use
that
the
is-
wild growth onto Kaisa.
You know, you see how MJF reacts to that, yung nag-wild growth na? Disperse. Bakit tayo
Yeah.
pa?
Yeah.
Malaki
So, no more wild growth. Good for them. If they re-engage again, going into the first Drake and the second Drake, Infernal yan. Wala nang wild growth. See, the gank was targeted specifically to make sure the wild growth would not be available by the second Drake. Meaning, the Kaisa is not gonna be at 100% power because of yung taga nice one baby niya. So, ngayon, ano mangyayari? Oh my god, that nice
Kita mo yun? That
Nice.
Pero,
Ayun lang, ang kunat.
iba-iba talaga.
Ganda sana eh!
Kahit anong trabaho mo, banat-banatan yung Garen. Torn million, pre. At ayun, that's gonna be a 2-man moonfall dito. Pero makaka-counter din immediately with the assaulted battery. Free dito si Void. Kahit nasa kita, malapit na makipag-apiran. Pero namaan siya ng shockwave. Ibex does not have enough damage. Kaya si Scrapes na ang bahala mag-clean up. Kahit nakunat ka kanina dyan, Garen. Medyo late ka na si Xena. Kahit wala ang Fiora natin. Kaya namin ubusin. MJF Aces, no? Being the stronger force. Yung sitong si Graves kahit range, even the Ezreal to, ano sila pang durugan, yung malapitan sila nakikipaglaban eh. Tignan mo yung Ezreal, nasa gitna siya ng T5. Talagang nakikipagharapan siya to make sure na tamang-tama yung mystic shot niya.
Ang
Pero ayun
ganda.
na, the Grace, grabe yan.
Ang ganda ng approach dito ng MJF Aces.
To get
Very,
close
very smart.
o to completely utilize. Nakaikot sa Brom to talaga. Yung lineup nila, nakaikot sa Brom. Kasi yung auto attack ni Graves, yung Mystic Shot, yung on-hit effect nun, Ezreal with full stacks AD, auto attack based din yung, I think on-hit effect din yung launch di ba? So, sino matatakan, matik yan. Kung sino man, stun yan, concussive blows. You know the drill. Alam mo na mangyayari doon. And right now, MJF Aces, they are on the lead. They are on the lead. Infernal Drake yan, 6% damage increased yan. And with the lead na na-establish, ahead na ahead, itong si Ashmeter, he will just keep on talagang pressing hard, nakikipagharapan, nakikipagbarilan, tutukan. And all the objectives right now might be, medyo tahimik sila, pero they're not gonna let that happen. Ang worry ko kanina yung Fiora no? Na baka masyado siyang too powerful. Pero even though behind yung Garen natin with the Bramble Vest is enough no to stand up against this Fiora.
True. Pero this is the situation, no. The Bramble Vest may counter the Fiora. Pero an Ignite will stop all of that, will stop all of that. So ayun, forcing back the Fiora, but still the story goes. Regardless what happens, ang napakalaking problema nila is there is no extra frontline, which means that they need to commit a Garen. And now that the Garen is shut down because of that engagement both side, no? What will the Garen do? The Garen will be forced back, meaning walang frontline ngayon para sa side.
Oh
my
lang!
God! Wild
lang!
nga naman!
Ayun lang talaga.
Disgusting steal.
Bastos yun.
Bastos
yun, man.
Oh my gosh! Napakaganda.
Ang ganda na si Fiora nasa ibaba, di ba? Distracted sila, oo. Distracted, ganyan. Creating opportunity, creating spaces. Pero, ayun. Hastulin. The Baron na sure. Simple as that. And right now, the momentum, definitely. Nakita na natin to from the previous game na naagawan din sila ulit. Ay, baliktad pala. Yung MJF Aces yung nang-agaw. So, SV Empire, no?
Hindi. SV Empire nakakuha ng Baron ba? Pero MJF Aces right now, no? It's still going to be a big issue. What are they going to do now with a Garen that is required to frontline and not gonna be able to keep this Fiora in check? Diba? And yung taga nice one baby nila, patay, wala nang wild growth. Ano ngayon? Diba may Baron kayo, diba? May Baron kayo! Lalaban pa rin kami! And now, di ba, look at what's happening here. The Orianna having an absolutely painful time. Oh my god, that shield saved it. The wild growth pa nga, tingnan mo, after that, wala na namang wild growth. No wild growth yet again. 3 members go down. And now, their target is the Mountain Drake. And something to point out, Libex is having a very hard time in this game. Hindi siya makaporba kasi walang frontline na pinapansin ang MJF Aces. So, all of the combos that the Orianna can deal, it's out the window. Completely out. Bakit? Kasi, paano ko combo yung Orianna para makatulong sa team niya? Eh, siya yung pinag-iinitan ng Diana. Diba? If you look at the stats right now, no? Pag check natin yung items, you will see the KDA of this Orianna being very, very bad. It's not working at all. 0, 4, and 6, 9k gold lead. You have a Luden's Echo and the Seraph's Embrace turned into an Archangel staff. Right after that, what else do you have? You have the Stasis. So, diba, 0-5 on Hush, 0-4 on Libex. You're putting all of your eggs in one basket by making sure ML on that Lulu can actually keep this Kai'Sa alive long enough to drag the game out where all of this relevance in terms of the tankiness and the front line and all of those factors are gone and out the window.
Pero that's quite big, no?
It's
basta nawala lang yung
it's gonna be very, very long.
Supposedly, sa kanila na yung advantage, pero they're still pressing on. Ezreal here, that's gonna be the grand challenge. Yung discarded talaga sa Fiora is to stay on sa pader. Pero na-proc pa rin, no? Kasi namatay yung grand challenge natin. Even to na pitas itong si Akril natin na andito ng SC Empire to the rescue. Pero yung MJF Aces, no? Spreading, contributing their champions all across the map. Getting all the turrets that they need to take. And maximizing the lead that they have. Even though nawalan sila ng Diana, mispositioned a little bit, they still have the upper hand. That's a 7k gold lead. 2 dragon stacks above the Antifa Biro, Infernal and Mountain Drake. And right now, with full confidence sila mag-i-start dito. Galing pa sa base si Diana natin lumalakbay. But will it be another steal coming from Hush? That's gonna be the Ionian Shadows. Hold out. Nakikita natin yung TP natin dito. Assault and Battery onto the Graves, but barely enough damage. It's gonna be a shockwave onto 2 of them.
Ay!
All dito nakakakalatan na. Pero hindi natin. Dalawa ang sa pal ng ating lumiliwanag na buwan. Ng ating lumiliwanag na ilaw. Akril. Napitas kanina pero uubos ng dalawa. Basta! Pinalo lang Wape! Nawala talaga again. And that's gonna be the Baron Nashor secure for MJF Aces as we can see here on the instant replay. Nasa gitna yung
Look at the Diana, look at the Diana, look at the Diana.
Oh!
Moonfall and then look at the dash in. Bam! Patay! Oh my
Lunar
god.
Rush, 2 hits lang, tol!
Oh
Tapos
my God.
AOE! Ow!
Nasty.
Nasty talaga, me.
Oh no. Yun yung again Bastos!
Ano talaga? Kanina pa tayo binabastos!
Oh
Grabe.
my god. Ang sakit mga kaibigan. Second Baron, this time goes to MJF Aces. And at this point they are not online yet. Itong SB Empire, they need to buy more time. And they have to be able to steal that Elder Dragon. If they steal that Elder Dragon, all the tankiness coming in from the MJF Aces, it's not gonna matter with true damage. Pero again, it's a tall ask. It's going to be a very, very tall order for them to actually be able to pull that off because of the Lulu Kai'Sa combo, where the Lulu is gonna be relegated to keeping this Kai'Sa alive, meaning the other 3 are designed to be like an extra target. Kumbaga, ang mangyayari na dito towards the later stages, Carl J, ikaw ang presidente, 'di ba? For protect one, protect the president, keep the Kai'Sa alive, save the Kai'Sa, save the game. Ganito na 'yon. This is the level of intensity when it comes down to it. But with over 10,000 gold in favor of MJF Aces, this is do or die. If they lose this Elder, potentially, I don't see a way for them to come back in this game.
Extra movement speed, true damage burn. They really need to secure this. Meron naman din mobility si Hush. Is the wild growth gonna be enough? It's going to be secure. That's a big moonfall right there. Nandito na. Nararamdaman mo talaga agad yung taglay na lakas ng ating MJF Aces. Makakatakbo pa ba ang mga SB Empire natin? Hindi
3
na
members
po.
down, that's 4. That's big timers.
Yung taga
It's
nice
just
one
a
baby
Lulu
na lang.
all alone.
Taga nice one baby na tira.
That's it. That's game. There's nothing left for the Lulu to do. You cannot defend this as Lulu. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. MJF Aces are going to take this with a reverse sweep over SV Empire. Very solid stuff. And just when you think, the performance from Mr. ML was wow, MJF Aces took it up to the next level. And look at Akril, 13-1-6. Napakasakit, lalo na yung second Baron. Winasiwas niya lang, double kill.
Oo.
And then, something to really commend for the MJF Aces is Ash Meter. The early game pressure on Hush and consistently trying to look for where Hush is to give Hush a hard time.
Even
that
though
gave so much advantage for MJF Aces. Siguro hindi mapapansin ng iba, pero shutting down Hush meant that you're lacking a frontline again. Walang magkikip ng Fiora in check. Imbis na 4-1, you're allowing the Garen to just stand toe-to-toe against the Fiora. Kailangan nyo tawagin si Pabo na tumulong. Kasi pero hindi kakayanin ni Hush.
Si Sera talaga, with the Fiora in pressure, he's always...
Isa pa tong si Libex.
Hindi rin siya ganun kainit eh. Hindi siya nakaka-performance match kasi kulang
diba?
na yung frontline
kasi walang haharang para sa kanya. Hindi na siya makaporma. Instant dive by Akril or Void possibly. Even Ashmeter can just keep chasing after this Oriana. So hindi makakapwesto ng maayos si Libex. Hindi makakaporma ng masyado tong si Carl J unless there is a Lulu involved. But then, what does MJF Aces do? They focus on the Lulu before the big team fight. Ang gagawin nila, they want to force out the Lulu to use the wild growth so that the wild growth is not available when it matters. Checkmate. MJF Aces drop the ace in the hole, winning the series 2-1. They move on to the semifinals.
Let's go.
To face off against Comeback Esports.
Alam na yan, sir. Yung taga nice one baby na strat, no, it's not gonna work. Lulu.
Wala na. Tapos na.
Expired na talaga. Definitely. Pero I still like how Sarah played this as a Fiora.
Oo.
He definitely knew kung ano yung ano yung role niya for that lineup, no?
Oo, for
and,
sure.
Ano pa rin? Drafting pa rin, costed the game.
Sarah made sure na
yung attention na sa kanya, yung Garen.
Kung sasama yung Garen,
basag Tora.
pabor sa kanya. Kung hindi sasama yung Garen, pahihirapan niya muna yung Garen para hindi makasama yung Garen.
Pero hangga't wala yung Garen sa pag naglalaban team fight, walang bantay, walang kulang sa karne. Kasi nga yung na-establish na pag-shutdown doon sa Vi nung ginawa ni Ashmeter, that's basically it. Early game, mid game, sa draft pa.
Napakaganda ng ginawa ng MJF Aces doon.
Napakalupit.
Oo.
Reverse sweep, ang lupit.
Tuwan-tuwa ako doon sa ginawa ni anong pangalan nun? Sa ginawa ni Ashmeter. I thought the performance by Hush was great. Ashmeter took it to another level. Napakaganda ng performance dito ng Aces. And it goes to show, you might think the MJF Aces are a step below the really good teams right now. No. They are capable and willing to stand toe-to-toe against the best. And this kind of performance, the decision-making involved, it shows that they're capable. No, it may have looked like a one-sided victory for game number 3, but that is mainly because of the one decision to choose to shut down Hush in that early game. Very, very smart approach. And that ruined the whole plan that SV Empire will do. So, it's all a matter of macro. No, iisipin nyo, anong pwede namin gawin para masira, diskarte o plano ng kalaban namin. Ginawa nila agad yun sa early game. And now, SV Empire, they will be bowing out of the Pro Scrim playoffs. Congratulations sa MJF Aces at napakaganda ng performance nila. Pero ito na nga ang inaabangan ng karamihan ng mga tao. Di ba? Meron akong nakita na hindi mahanap yung emoji ng ahas. So nilabas niya na lang yung emoji ng caterpillar. Ini-install niya caterpillar. Di ba? Caterpillar Infinity mag-ingay!
Eto na.
Kaya tumatawa ako habang nagkakas. Kasi nakita ko yung emoji. Ang lupit naman nito, pare. Nakalagay mo. Hindi ko mahanap yung emoji. So ito na lang. Ito na lang isa-spam ko. Shoutout sa'yo kay Lawrence, napaka-utak ko.
Pwede pag copy-paste, pre. Copy-paste mo na lang. Tapos lalabas na yung suggested yung Vipers. Pero wala. Caterpillar tayo. Lakastrip natin eh.
Yeah, let's see. No? Now the excitement comes in. Vipers Infinity going up against NXG Paradox. I wanna see the action. I wanna see the ayun, alam mo yun, yung lasunan na magaganap. Siyempre, Vipers eh. Diba? They're going to strike. And they're going to strike when it's hot. But I'm pretty sure NXG Paradox, they're not gonna be pushovers about it. They're going to try their best to fend off the Vipers. And that is gonna make things a very, very interesting series for everyone watching right now. But for now, Boss Kaloy, kailangan ko mag-CR.
Ako rin eh. Kanina ko rin naisip yun eh.
Let's go for a short break, guys!
Short break lang tayo.
Kasi ang dami
namin ininom ng kape.
ininom.
Bumabuelo na nga ako, nasasabi ko magbe-break tayo para mag-bathroom break. Pero, you know the drill, marami pa tayong ikas. Pero kailangan namin magbawas. Alright.
Please, mama.
2 minutes lang. Please. Cut.
Ay!
Have you done to me? As the dark energy flows from inside of me, inside of me. by the sea and the stars, I can't stay just in one place. So break away from your chains now, child. Go out and be free. 'Cause there's no there's no coming home now. I'm just here to be me. To my final breath, I'll sail the seas until the end of my days. When I'm gone, finally be free. So break away from your chains now, child. Go out and be free. 'Cause there's no coming home now. I'm just here to be me. This time's the last and I won't go because I've set my mind in stone. I will never leave your side, you'll be here all the while. For the sunset will arrive and no, there's no turning back now. So go on, oh go on. Go on and meet me in the light now. Go on, go out and be free. 'Cause there's no
Yo! Hindi pala ako nakamute.
Ay, nako.
Nakamute. Nag-yo-yo-yo na ako dito. Tapos biglang ganun. We are back. Tamang bawas. And inom pa tayo ulit.
Ready na ako sa umaatikabong action dito, no? Gusto ko lang i-point out, no? Ladies and gentlemen, you know, let's no hate. Okay, all love dito tayo. All love, all fun. Huwag tayong mag-away-away, walang toxic po sa ginagawa ng Vipers community. They are showing support. They are a very active community showing support for the team.
Wait.
Playing with them.
Ano nangyayari? Anong trip
Okay,
nyo?
okay. Hindi
nga lang.
toxic yung pag-spam dyan. Gusto
Di
lang
porket-
nila ipakita suporta nila sa kanilang team na maglalaro ngayon. Walang toxic dyan. This is all for the community. Maganda yung pinapakita na kasi active sila. Okay, let's not take this as toxicity. Ang toxic yung minumura nyo. Yung Vipers
Ito yan.
community o
Ito
yung
yan.
sino mang nagpa-participate, yan ang toxic dyan. Okay?
Ganito yan.
Yung walang toxic doon.
Ganito yan, Kuya Isaac. Wait lang. Di porket may delay. Ha? Ano yan? Di ako rinig? Ay, sorry. Wait lang. Sorry, tinasabihan ako direct yung sounds ng phone ko. Di porket may delay, di kayo natututukan. Wala tayong pasagan ng trip dito. Lakan Esports
Oo nga.
event to, okay?
Oo
Kung
nga.
gusto nila mag-spam ng ahas, eh di spamin nyo rin.
Bulate!
Ito, ini-spam na ng ano eh, ng ibon.
Kaya, di ba? Guys,
Pwede naman ganun na lang eh.
guys, you know, if you can't beat them, join them. Spam the chat, support your teams. Pero don't call out,
wait.
don't be toxic.
Naglalabasan
Walang
na ng mga
toxic dyan.
naglalabasan na ng mga dummy accounts. Eto na.
Okay,
This is
power.
lakan. Kala mo. Si Gone Pricks ito, loko-loko to. Trash talk lang. Sige, bahala kayo sa mga trip nyo. Just go do what you feel best. But eto para sa akin, ang gusto ko lang, really, ang dami supporters, ang dami lumalaban. Spam lang kayo ng spam ng ahas, spam lang kayo ng spam ng, ano ba to? Agila.
Walang kaso yan, ladies and gentlemen.
Baka
This is-
sisiw yung agila.
this is them showing support for the community. Okay, they're showing support for the love of the game, for the love of their own team. Excited lang sila at active sila because nag-enjoy sila dahil sa Wild Rift at dahil sa pagsasama nila. There's nothing toxic about spamming the chat. It's them showing support for their team. It's a very positive thing na merong community na ganyan kalaki na willing sumuporta sa team nila. And it's not about winning. It's about supporting one another and that is very commendable. There's nothing wrong with it. Hindi toxic yan. Ang toxic is yung sinasabi mo na bobo sila kasi nagsuspam sila. Hindi sila bobo. Pinakita lang nila na napaka-solid nila. And
Ito
that
na.
is something worth believing. No? Very well
Is-
shown by the
is-
Vipers community.
Yes, sir. Isa yan sa mako-comment ko nga about sa Vipers Infinity community na very
But
very
that
active.
only means na mas mainit ang magiging laban. Let's go! Let's go! Mas mainit to! Dahil sa nangyayari sa comment section natin, sila ibig sabihin yan, best of 3, NXT Paradox at Vipers Infinity Squad. Mag-ingay! Labas na ang malalakas kasi napakainit ng laban na to, mga kaibigan. Di ba? Dito tayo magkakaalaman. Imbis sa comment section kayo sutukan, pakita niyo sa laro. Hype! Let's go!
Sabi ko
Let's
mag-spam.
go!
Edi mag-spam ng spam kayo, wala akong pake, mahal ko kayo lahat.
Oo, engagement yan mga kaibigan. Di ba, pabor yan? Kanino? Lakan Esports event. So wag nyo kakalimutan. Like, share, comment. Lahat ng pwede nyo i-comment. Mapabulate, mapaibon, mapadragon. Tawagin nyo na rin mga kapitbahay nyo kahit 10 oras ng gabi, katokin nyo sila, sabihin nyo, manood sa stream na to kasi mainit na laban ang parating. NXT Paradox lang naman, tsaka Vipers Infinity lang naman to. You already know what it is. It is gonna be hype and there is going to be a lot of action.
Mismo.
Let's go!
Action.
Yeah!
Ito bakit to NXT
Woo!
Paradox.
Yeah!
Woo!
Woohoo!
Oh!
I love
Hiko!
it.
Nararamdaman na natin yata yung kating ininom na evening caffeine.
Nasobrahan ako dun.
Okay lang yan,
sabi ni
man.
Rexy,
Okay lang yan.
Sabi ni Rexy, no? Stay hydrated. Sa sobrang hydrated.
Hydrated, napasiyan.
Napasiyan.
Nagbibigay na ng signal si Recti, sabi niya. After nito, Recta, next game. Hindi ko matiis.
Hindi pwede.
Buti ba kasabay pa tayo nun, par? Kaya wala na rin palak si Recti sa atin. Sige, share muna kayo. Sabi niya. At speaking of hydration, kailangan ko, urban hydration, staying good hydration, spreading good hydration, yeah. Yeah.
Let's support NXT Paradox, let's support Vipers Infinity. Huwag tayo mag-away-away. At the end of the day, ang panalo dito, tayo. Kasi nagiging aktibong community to at nagsasama-sama tayo magkatakan pataas. So magiging maganda ang parating na laban at isa lang ang ibig sabihin yan. So sobrang hype namin, tapos na kami magbawas. Ready na kami magingay. Kahit pa katukin ang bahay. Bars!
Bars! Pero hindi ko naman na ano dyan ha. Baka naman biglang, oy! Isaac! Di ba Isaac? Isaac! Ano yan?
Ay, dati
Ay, talaga?
Mga panahon pa ng Super War ata yun. O kaya AOV. Hindi ko maalala. Pero, binabato yung bahay kasi ang ingay ko mag-cast noon. So, alam mo yung binabato kasi, oy, ngayon! Yung ipapapulis na lang ako, konti na lang. Ganon kasi ang ingay ko mag-cast. So, you know.
Wait lang, nagchat ako sa ating comment section right now kung ano nangyayari. Para kasi nagkaka ano sila, inggitan, nagkakaharutan. Pero spam lang kayo,
That's good. Action pack, di ba? All the more reason for a hype series between these two great organizations. So let's go. Camille banned out, Akali banned out. Let's see what the third ban is going to be. It's going to be the Fiora. So ngayon, no? God Kings labas. Wala nang Camille at Fiora sa taas. Isa lang ang ibig sabihin nito kasi pati Akali tinanggal na. Pwede na silang bumira ng kakaibang champion na pwede nang makipagbakbakan dun sa taas, no? Yan ang gusto natin kasi usual case to, makikita natin Camille, makikita natin Fiora. Let's take those out the equation. Wala na rin Akali, Garen, Darius, Singed.
Ang daming walang Baron. Ang daming walang Baron lane right now. Pero there's a lot open. Si ating, it may be small, it may be big. Ay, nakapapakita na agad. Ayan na talaga. Kita-kita mo pala. Kahit di mo ba makita yung full picture, basta within your peripherals, no? Yung ngisi, alam mo, Ziggs na talaga. And it's going to be secured itong NSC Paradox natin, no? And what will be the answer? Maybe an Ezreal. Kasi, sige, kahit Ezreal gods. It's not bad to pick up an early Ezreal din kasi wala naman din masyadong counter pick yan, very independent. And if that's a champion na comfort pick para sa isang marksman dragon laner, might as well. Ayun na nga. So,
si Kite, naka-Ezreal.
Mismo.
Alam mo yun, the human cheat code, Kite. Showing up with the Ezreal.
Matik yan to. Aimbot yun eh.
Aimbot.
Mapapaambot na lang ang kalaban sa pagka-aimbot nitong kite natin. And
but still, Ziggs Corki on the other side, that's still gonna be a very big threat, no? Ang ganda ng starting 3 ng NXG Paradox dito. You have the poking and the ultimate package in Ziggs. And then you have the Corki late game scale, not to mention protected to ng Janna. You're going to pick up Galio, Diana, and Gragas. Sige. Pero tandaan nyo, isang monsoon lang yan. Di ba? Labas. Yun ang mangyayari dyan. Mapapalabas sila ng
pwede ba nga na nilang dagdagan lalo kasi yung may nakita ata tayo doon, yung Zinzao na Janna. Isa yun sa mga one of the powerful counters which is yun nga, narinig na tayo. Ayun ang gagawin ng NXT Paradox against this very, very, very intense na papasok na lineup. Hard engage yan, pero ang kontra dyan, pangwasiwas.
Gusto ko nga actually itong Olaf pick eh. Ang ganda, napakatalino ng Olaf pick to.
Actually, balance.
Cannot be stopped by a monsoon.
Pwede siyang dumiretso, pwede siyang, if try niya, i-punish yung Ziggs or even the Janna. So,
pero punishable tong Olaf na to. Kasi yes, you can counter that monsoon with the Ragnarok, but you will take so much more damage from Ziggs and Corki. Posibleng matunaw ang Olaf.
Before makaabot sa in-range. Kasi nga, basta ang Ziggs partnered up with an ADC na Corki or Ezreal, it's gonna be a hard match. It's gonna be a hard composition to penetrate. Kasi bago ko dumating within the range as a melee champion, wala halos ata, bawas ka na mga 1/4 or 1/2 at worst. So, and also considering na pagdating mo doon, pwede ka pang bumalik eh. Kasi may monsoon eh. So another, isang lakbay na naman. Mga 2 times ka maglalakad papunta dyan sa mga squishes na yan. At baka umabot ka within the range, tunaw ka na. O sila na yung maghahabol sa'yo kasi gusto mo na umuwi at mamamatay ka na. We will see what will be Viper's Infinity Squads ang mga nilang diskarte when it comes to handling NXT Paradox's
Natutuwa
lineup.
ako sa logo ng ng NXT Paradox. Reminds me of All Might, no? Yung buhok niya.
Oo. Yung nga ni Deku, di ba parang mukhang bunny ears? Eh yung niya yung initial
diba?
costume niya, di ba may mask pa siya? Kasi gusto niya i-reflect yung buhok ni All Might na pataas. Pero nga, tinanggal niya na rin din.
Diba? It looks like All Might. Pero eto naman, Viper's Infinity Squad. Maganda rin logo nila eh. Mukhang pambukas ng bote ng alak.
O, siya, parang, if you think about it,
Creative.
minimalistic siya, pero mukha pa rin siyang snake. Parang it's in a form of a circle, pero nagkaroon ng depiction of a snake.
Ganda.
So you don't have to really know that it's a vipers, it's a snake or whatsoever. Basta from the pa rin, cobra yan eh. Vipers yan, ganyan. So napakaganda. Napaka-creative gumawa ng mga logo nito. Pero napaka-creative ba nila gumawa ng place, gumawa ng draft? We will see. Kasi para sa akin, para sa'yo ba, Kuya Isaac, tingin mo when it comes to the team fight, balance out. Pwede mag-go intro. Itong si Olaf natin. Pero, tingnan mo, kaya ba nilang iwas-iwas yan? Itong Jana and Azinzao?
Yan ka na naman, Kaloy. Yan ka na naman eh. Pero para sa akin, para sa'yo.
Hindi kasi para...
We may be small but we are big. Pero para sa akin, para sa'yo. And speaking of para sa'yo, nabigyan ng Olaf dito. First blood. Now going to the side of NXT Paradox. Pero hindi sa walang sagot yan. Sasagutin nila with a kill. On to this Sinjao as well. 1-for-1. Mainit ang bakbakan. Ito ang gusto natin.
Definitely. Pero going back, para sa akin, at para sa'yo, hindi, para sa akin muna, pwede pa rin eh. Pwede pa rin talaga nitong Viper's Infinity kung ayun lang, di lang mangyayari yung ganon. Basta maganda yung sequence ng pasok nila. Pwede naman din si Samael. Malamang sa malamang 5-man ang labanan dito kasi hindi naman to Fiora kami out of the picture yung 4-1 na formation. Wala naman, di naman din ganon kalakas ang split push pressure ng both Baron laners natin. At tulad nga ng akin, meron ditong onting balak si Alieri, burning the flash. Pero kapag pagdating nga sa 5-man na lineup, pwedeng mag-burn kapag nag-start na ng engage. Pag nag-explosive cast itong si Gragas natin, pag nahuli niya ay na-caught off guard yung Jana, mawawala ng Monsoon. Crescent guard na lang ang natitira. So meron pa ring heroes entrance. As long as ma-burn yun, pwedeng pumorma talaga ang Diana. So for me, para sa akin, Viper's Infinity, what I think, sa team fight lang not the rest of the game. Pero sa team fight lang. Para sa'yo naman, Kuya Isaac.
Well, ang masasabi ko dito, we saw an issue in the mid lane with the Diana getting caught out by Ziggs Jana.
Oo.
It's not because the Diana could not fight, pero ito yung problema, no? When you use your dash and then you try to back out with the Diana, tapos na-slow ka ng Jana, problema yan. Because you know for a fact na papopoke down ka ng Corki o ng Ziggs. So, kailangan na talaga ngayon na etong Diana is full commit.
Ooh!
Full commit lumaban. And now, you see they're punishing this Diana. Lumalaki yung lamang because of Chovy on that Ziggs. It's going to be very difficult for this Diana to engage. Knowing na cancelled ang ultimate niya because of the Jana. Masoslow siya ng Jana so hindi siya makakalabas sa team fight. And to add to that, there's the shield with the added damage being provided by Jana to whoever she may please. Adding to the potential of a big team fight win for NXT Paradox. For Vipers on the other hand, when they catch someone out, devastating to. Galio's Shield of Durand, adding to the hero's entrance. You have the explosive cask for the reset. And then you have a Moonfall. So, mukhang si Peke, kailangan niya munang i-buy time. Hindi muna siya papasok ng todo-todo. Wait for the opportune moment where there will be no cancel and
Like
there
the
will be
usual
no delay,
Diana.
tsaka lang siya papasok.
Yeah. Ganun talaga diskarte nila. When it comes to the Diana. Talagang in-hold nila, makikita mo talaga nag-iikot-ikot sila sa kanilang movement wheel, waiting for that right moment. Kasi yung damage mo naman hindi consistent na, hindi siya yung constant damage tulad ng usual na mga mages na nagpo-poke within range eh. All in si Diana. Once you have the window opportunity to get in, pull off that Moonfall, Saka na mag-lunar rush sa mga Moonlight, no? To close distance, to give damage. And hindi natin ma-deny the fact na okay din ang clean up, no? Okay din mag-burst damage ang isang Diana. And that's why kailangan niya talaga lagi mag-close ng distance. Kaya yung pinaka core item, first item niya talaga you need to get is a Rod of Ages. Pero we will see. This is going to be an Infernal Drake. Mauumpisahan ata nila, pero naandito na ang Diana. Mawawala na ng forma. That's gonna be a 4v4. But the jungler is down for the side of NXG Paradox. Kite with Ezreal. He's gonna do it. He's under turret aggro. He's gonna get yung damage, yung range ng Jinx natin na sumabog kalante sa ating explosive class. But the Corki is here with the range and the damage. Yung isang auto attack will not be enough para i-execute itong si X-Bebe. Grabe.
Dikit ang laban.
Oo. Nothing to say. Both junglers are down. Kite, I think, overcommitted during that, nakatanggap siya ng at least 2 turret shots, no? He's within turret aggro. If you look at here, nag-flash in siya. That's 2 shots. And also, kasama yung damage coming from the Ziggs. Ziggs immediately going down kasi nag-isa siya ng alak ng ating Sama Elski. At na 10 bits pa nga, yung isang auto attack na lang sana kay X-Bebe. Another one, Kuya Isaac. Infernal Drake na naman po, round 2.
Ultimates are down, ha?
Ultimates are down. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Ezreal, Olaf, they have the ultimate. Only Garen has an ultimate for the side of NXG Paradox. This is going to be very risky kasi that last fight is going to favor this side of Viper's Infinity. Paradox cannot go for this. Now they're gonna use that ultimate Mega Inferno Bomb to shove back the members of Viper's Infinity, but they cannot back out from this, no? Lots of damage being dealt right now. Poke damage, if you may say so. Pero that is going to signal the reset because even NXT Paradox back off and go for this tower instead. They're not ready for the defense. Baka may posibleng pumasok dito. The explosive cast is there, gonna be connecting. The tower is already down. Garen is fronting for the side of NXT Paradox. And now the Moonfall. And now the ultimate. The judgment goes down and Diana is out. Gragas will fall.
Ayun na problema!
Re-engage. And 3 go down for the Viper's Infinity Squad. NXG win that fight and can go for this Infernal Drake.
Ayun ang problema talaga. Pag inintro mo ng Moonfall, mapopokus ka. Tinan mo full health si Peke nun. Pero nahagisan, nabaksakan, nawala na silence. Go-in siya. Half-life na siya dahil dun sa Ziggs. Kailangan talaga, you have to be at the back waiting for your front lines to engage. And once all the disengage is gone, saka ka papasok to clean up. Pero I don't think there will be another opportunity or there will be an opportunity for Peke, for this Diana to do that kasi he's too behind. He's too behind.
Kalay mo may kailangan kang iban sa chat. Mag-aasim na talaga. Low blow na yung sinasabi dito. So ang kailangan natin, disiplinahan ng konti.
Sino ba to?
Ang ganda ng laban. Pero yung si Dave ay sumusobra na sinasabi.
Ito ba yung sa Hunter Hunter ba to?
Hindi. Yung isa. Yung Dave. Bad yun, bad. Bad yun, bad. Wag naman mga insulto, guys. Okay lang mag-spam at magpakita ng support. Pero let's remain positive, no? Magandang laban to 14-4 nasisira sa comment section na Toxic. Huwag tayo ganyan. Enjoyin lang natin. NXT Paradox right now leading with 3 towers. And they are continuing this advantage. Their momentum is looking very, very good. The question of the matter is, no, it's not a good sign for Vipers. Because they cannot find a way back into this, especially since inuunti-unti sila, especially with the tower juggling there that you saw in the replay, no? Ito si OG, alam niya ang kakayahan niya. Tatangkihin niya tong tore na to para maka-free hit ang mga teammates niya. So that means it's a free dive because this Garen can tank towers talaga. So there's nothing protecting the members of Vipers if this 5-man goes all in. Very, very solid strategy.
I'm checking the chat lang. Pero yeah, going back to the game, Infernal Drake, 10k gold lead pala for NXG Paradox.
Yep.
So,
and that's because their strategy is very solid, though. Walang makatibag sa kanila at hindi sila maabot. Before the fight starts, they're already very, very low. Vipers are not gonna have a good time against this. Especially since meron pang Garen na nagpa-front para sa kanila.
Oh.
Ang ganda ng ginagawa nila dito. Tingnan mo, sobrang shutdown ni Diana na hindi makaporma. Another 3 go down yet again for Vipers, and now NXT Paradox just continuing the siege. If there was a fortress composition, we're seeing the death ball. When they, as 5, continue marching down, nothing will be able to stop them. And it's just getting really hard for this dive composition developed by Viper's Infinity to get the ball rolling. They need Kite to scale pa. They need Peke to stop dying. And then they need to make sure the triple tank of Olaf, Gragas, and Galio are able to fend off all the damage being thrown by NXT Paradox. Mahirap gawin, pero madali sabihin.
There's still a potential for Vipers naman to catch NXT Paradox's team composition. Makakahuli lang ng isang Momo-Combo. Pero I don't think with the lead na na-establish itong Paradoxes natin, they're gonna let such a thing to happen. Kasi, malakas na yung Corki nila. Especially si Ziggs. The distance that they have to close out itong Vipers will be a hard one to close out definitely. Kasi bago kayo dumating within reach sa mga bulilit na to, mahapdi na ampok. And giving the Ziggs with the Corki, just the Ziggs itself eh. Kanina pa ito na pag-uusapan natin itong buong playoffs. The Ziggs pick is a bit too much, Kuya Isaac. It's really too much. It has a good laning phase, the way it shut down yung ating Diana. With the team fight, the AOE, global presence, you know it's a deal. But it's gonna be stolen by Viper's Infinity, and that will delay NXG's.
And that's very good though.
NXG's
You
pag-close
steal
out ng
that,
game eh.
This is
That's quite big.
This can be potential for a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. Stealing away that Baron buff means that there is life in the Vipers right now. Kaya pa nila bumawi dito. Not to mention, they have the hyper carry in the Ezreal. You know, one combo can delete a Corki or a Ziggs. Give Kite that opportunity, and this composition will fall once the Corki and the Ziggs are taken out the picture. Kasi etong Garen, itong Xinjiang at itong Janna, hindi ganun katindi ang damage output nila. But then everyone on the side of Vipers can dish out damage when there is enough time and enough items provided to them. It's starting to get very juicy into the later stages.
Yes, yeah. At saklap tingnan, 0-6 na Diana. But the crowd control is there. Alright? The Moonfall. And that will somehow allow Kite, na alam naman natin, no matter what, mainit talaga mag-Ezreal yan. Kasi even when behind the gold is not that far. Actually, siya ngayon leading gold when it comes to Viper's Infinity. No, he knows his way. He knows how to play Dragon Laner. And he knows to definitely play this Ezreal. As long as Viper's Infinity finds an opportunity to get all of those skills onto NXT Paradox's members, doon na talaga magkakaumpisahan. Pero will they let it? Will they let it? That is the question. Maybe securing this, is that an Elder Dragon na? Oo, Elder Dragon na pala. Yung previous Drake was delayed a little too late. So, we're gonna have the third dragon, an Elder Dragon, no? So, for Viper's Infinity to bounce back onto this game, kailangan talaga nila makuha yung yung Elder Dragon natin. Bless you. Bless you ba pag inubo?
Ano na to? 10k gold lead.
10k gold.
And right now, no, hindi nila makapitalize.
Oo.
Yung Baron
Kasi,
buff.
yung Baron.
Kasi map control is still on the side of NXT Paradox. So what NXT Paradox is going to do, they're just going to sit back, relax, wait for the Baron buff to run out before they continue. And now, without Baron buff, ayan na.
Pwede na sila gumawa again. But, Viper's Infinity, kailangan nilang, they need to be safe here. If possible, hindi sila mag-engage ng fight. If wala silang choice na mag-engage ng fight, at least, take that fight in a safer location. Might be inside the turret. But, itong mga outer lane turrets natin, I think it has to be given up eh. Basta hindi lang sila mawalan ng isang inhibitor turret, dan sila pwede lumaban. And as we can see here, that's gonna be the clear. Fight the 6, pero hindi natin pwede basta-basta.
Sakit ng Z.
Pero in-intro na yung galyon natin, yung... Oh! Nakita mo yung Ezreal! Di mo nakaporma!
Oh my God.
From that
Damage
far
din.
away, yung poke, yung range that Corki and Ziggs na...
And the
I'm
zone.
lost at... Yung zone, I'm lost at words. Tapos pag itatry mo pasukin, disengage kayo. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the death bull.
Oo.
Death bull talaga. Lalapitan mo, dedo ka. Pag within range ka, pag may distansya lang kayo, abot ka. What is going on? MXG Paradox with this really powerful team composition. And right now, almost up for spawn na ang Elder Drake. No? Almost there na. Buhay na rin yung Baron Nashor. What can Viper's Infinity Squad do? No? Once Energy Paradox gets into position, no, in that death ball formation,
12K.
wait. Something's cooking up here. Something's cooking up here.
Kumukunat na. Kumukunat na Vipers dito. If they continue to buy time like this, it's going to be good for them.
It's the
Ziggs.
6. If they take out the 6, it's a big take out. Oh, it's a big.
Oo. Walang poke
Oh,
damage.
this might be something.
Oo.
Pwede nilang kunin to. But it's a crescent guard.
The Sinjao.
Oh, look, did you see the damage from the Ziggs? Mega Inferno Bomb lang yun, pero
Oh,
naging
no.
1/4 yung buhay.
But there's no jungler.
There's no jungler for the side of Viper's Infinity. But this Ziggs right now looks very deadly. Naku po, kahit muntikan ka na doon, Lodi.
Olaf
Sila mo?
mahuli.
Mahuli pa yung Olaf? Olaf's down?
Yeah, that's an Olaf down.
Oh.
That's bad
Look at
news
here.
for the Vipers. This is free dragon for the side of NXT Paradox if they wanna go for it.
Boom! Oh, look at that! Nakita
Ang
mo yun?
sakit, diba?
Ang sakit!
Ito na, inaabangan natin.
Oo,
This
walang
is a
Olaf.
potential for NXT
Here
Paradox
comes
to close
Chovy.
out the game. They can close out the game like this. If they continue this though, it's starting to get very hard for them to tank this Ziggs. Yes, they're getting tankier, but the Ziggs damage is getting bigger. Kite is slowly getting melted. The bomb gonna be dodged out. But that's another tower down with one tower remaining for the side of Viper's Infinity. This is an Elder Drake that is next on the list for the side of NXT Paradox. If they get this, the damage of Chovy is going to be too much to handle. Not to mention, eto si Yoichi.
Mag-i-scale din. AOE din included. With true damage pa. Infernal buff pa. Tapos, almost done sa Void Staff. Don't let this Ziggs, no? Isang Mega Inferno Bomb, Inner Circle, mahablutan ka lang. Yung sunog ng Liandry's, yung sunog ng true damage burn ng Elder buff. I don't think Kite or the Ezreal can survive this. But you really have to give props dito sa Ziggs na to. The way he positions himself.
That's gone. Killing
That's
spree.
nagragas na. That's
Hinahabol
gonna
si
be
Olaf.
4 down. Hinahabol na yung Olaf natin. Nandito na si Algieri. He's gonna get caught by
Ang sakit
the
ni
shield
Kite.
of Duran. But Kite though, can he? Since I was gonna go down, and pala meron Guardian Angel, but the
But
BG
they're
with the
dying
Guardian
one by
Angel is
one.
gonna be
Kite's all
flashing
alone.
in onto Kite, and Kite's gonna go down.
That's
That's gonna be
game.
3,
That's game.
4, 5,
Triple for Yoichi.
and that is game with Yoichi for the
NXT
Corki
Paradox.
with the clean up.
Beautiful.
Beautiful wide drift.
We have ourselves a very beautiful game, ladies and gentlemen. Napakaganda ng pinakita dito ng NXT Paradox when it comes to that death ball. You go far away, you will be poked down. You try to engage, you will be locked in. Anyone will fall in this death ball. And hindi nila maabot-abot yung dalawang carry in the Ziggs and the Corki. Look at that, 6-2 and 15 on Chovy. Yoichi 9-0 and 8. The two key champions that they had to take down, Ziggs, Corki. Take those two out, yung dalawang nakagagels na yan, the damage output from OG, from Aileri, and from Honey, it's not gonna be that high. So they will be able to out-sustain that. But then the damage from Corki and Ziggs is too much, and all that NXT had to do was keep those two alive. Because they were able to do just that, it became a steamrolling death ball, and even Kite, no, will not be able to stop that kasi napakakunat ng pinakita ng NXT Paradox. Napakagandang wild rate yun. 40,000 damage on that Ziggs.
My goodness.
Diba? And who else? Who else is going to be able to deliver damage on the side of Vipers? No one. Wala na kasi si Peke shut down.
Sobrang shutdown.
Ito si Caesar, it's a 12k Olaf, but then again, you do not want to be poked down. Lalambot ka pag naka-Ragnarok ka. Si Xbebe, hindi niya naman mahuhuli itong mga to. And at the same time, itong si Samael, you have the explosive cask. But then, Valkyrie's there. Satchel Charge will be there. They can still get out. Not to mention Monsoon. This was a checkmate and a drafting win for the side of NXG Paradox. And they showed complete mastery of how to execute this composition. Very well played.
Pero para sa akin, it's a clinic talaga for Chovy. From the beginning pa lang sa laning phase on how paano niya denominate the range for to the Diana and allowed an opportunity pagdating ng kanyang jungler, which is Alieri, to pick up kills and completely shut down si Peke. And during team fights, hindi siya nakakaporma, hindi siya nakaka-moonfall, and that's basically it. And you can see in the whole story sa graph na ang ating NXT Paradox are on the lead. Sa akin na lang, Ziggs ban talaga. We've been saying this a lot of times. If nanonood pa kayo mula nung day 1, ngayong series, ngayong playoffs natin sa Pro Scrim, you really have to get rid of that Ziggs. Ang dami pwedeng gawin. Hindi lang yung poke strategy yung pwedeng gawin dyan. Suitable yan sa kahit ano. Whether it's a hard engage, may global presence, may mega inferno bomb. Whether it's something na death ball formation, di ba? Pwede siyang poke. Whether it's the fortress formation, di ba? Ganon din ang role niya. He has escape, pwede siyang sobrang independent, di niya need mag-rely to something on a Janna. Satchel Charge will be enough to maintain distance sa mga frontliners.
Yun din inisip ko no? Like, you have a very nice draft, but you're out-drafted because the way you're going to need to come into this composition is straight up. Kailangan dire-diretso ka. Hindi ganun kadali ang gagawin nyo as Vipers. You guys were outdrafted so hard here. It would have been nice if you played in a different way, but then the Diana was shut down so hard. And you had to go straight down the middle for you to be able to reach a Corki and the Ziggs that would get away from you. Full on commit, and then you get wrecked like that. That, my friends, is not going to be easy. You guys have to rethink the strategy. On NXT Paradox, though, we have nothing to say. That was beautiful. Wild Rift.
Totoo.
Napakaganda ng diskarte, ng style nila. And of course, in terms of how they took care of their carries, that's exactly what you want to see. That's some high-level stuff.
High-level stuff right there. Sobrang easy, Gucci. Parang everywhere you go. To si Chovy, yung parang ang init ng daliri niya eh. Yung the way, naalangan agad si Sinzao, di ba? Nakita mo, nagtatago. They're trying to make plays. Which is I like for Vipers Infinity to have that kind of initiative despite the lead na meron sa ating NXT Paradox. They wanted to get somebody, they wanted to pick off somebody. And here comes Sinzao. The immediate response from the Ziggs and how he is powerful. Pak, isang mega inferno bomb. Nakita mo yung buhay nila, men. Isang skill lang yung tumama. Whoop! Grabe. Kala mo assassin ang bumira. Ganon na yung lead na na-establish dahil nga hindi lang doon yung galing niya. Mula pa lang sa early game, talagang pinapahirapan niya na talaga yung Diana umpisa pa lang hanggang sa mid game, hanggang sa pag-zone out niya ng mga bomba-bomba niya, hanggang sa pag-utilize niya ng proteksyon nila Janna at nila Sinzao. Alam na alam talaga ni Ziggs nito yung paano yung diskarte niya sa laro na to. Kaya props to him. Oh yes, sige, nakuha nyo na yung powerful na champion, outdrafted na namin kayo, pero the way they executed it, still, counted pa rin yung 50% which is in game. It's still a way for you to win, pero galing talaga ang husay. I think masaya si Timo doon, or hindi. Kuya Timo, kamusta ka dyan? Bulong ka.
Ano yan? Gusto daw sumali sa comment section. Mas mainit daw doon niya. Mainit daw dito, sa impyerno, men. Mainit eh. Kaso sabi niya, mukhang mas mainit na lugar. Gusto ko sumali doon.
Kamusta kaya yung comment section natin?
The best, pare.
Nagkakainitan na.
Oo. Sobrang init na dyan. Shoutout sa inyo mga nanonood. Publicity is publicity. Let's go! Lakan Esports events!
Hindi. Kuya Isaac, ganyan talaga yan. Naglalabasan na ng dami account. Normal yan dito sa mga pro scrim. Kahit sa daily pro scrim challenge natin.
Walang kaso. It goes to show that we have a very lively community.
Exactly.
People are very passionate about Wild Rift. Let's go!
Sa akin yung mga
Diba?
haters, ano yan, mga fans din yan, fans. Ano lang, ibang mindset lang. Ibang mindset. Yung mga
meron ako mga haters na minumura ako in public.
concerned fans.
Pero sa PM, pag nagkakentuhan lang kami, trama kami.
Concerned fans
Trama
yan.
lang, oo. Trama lang
Sabihin
kami.
sa'yo,
Kaya
ano
lang, bobo naman ito mag-cast, pero sa PM, yo pare, kamusta? Laro tayo mamaya.
Ano nga yun? Ang tawag doon.
Ano lang, tamang kulitan lang. Hindi ako walang personalan.
Concerned fans. Fans pa rin yan. Ano
Yeah,
lang
boy.
sila, parang may nag-aalala lang. Just you have to be open sa criticism na ano ba to? Wala naman to parang walang utak tong bobo naman to magkasito ni Kaloy. Ano yung ganon? Ano yun? Criticism. Hindi yung toxic dito. Criticism. So,
Gusto
fans,
niyang mag-improve ka.
oo, gusto na mag-improve ka. Pag sinabihan kang bambano mo naman, huwag ka na nga magsalita. Ang pangit na boses mo, tunog ano concern yun. So, kailangan
Isipin mo na
Ganun
lang,
tayo
di ba?
magsalita.
Parang sinasabi nila, ang pogi-pogi na neto. Tapos gagaling pa sa pagkakast. Shit!
Oo, mismo. Pag sinabing ang pangit naman ang mukha nito, tapos ba't ka pa nagkakas, ba't ka pa nagpapakita, hindi magpapogi ka. Ganun yung gusto nilang mangyari. Hindi papogi tayo. Bakit din
Oo.
naman, di ba? Oh.
Di ba?
Ugas mo ka. Ligo-ligo.
Kung ganun lang kadali, guys, model.
Ganun lang pak. Yung yung transferable yung consciousness.
Let's go! Right now, based on what I am, the key, one of the key,
Na parang tungkol dito will be still. Wait.
and without that flag and drag,
There you. What?
Opening
Ang
nice
mainit.
pick.
Hindi na siya ngayon mambobo.
habang nangyayari sabi niya, napaka-yummy ni Katarina.
I agree. Kuya Timo, I agree. Pwede ba natin dyan ma-meet up? Siya tayo nila Katarina dyan sa impyerno. Sama na si Isaac.
Isasama ko to, huwag ka mag-alala.
Okay, matik yan. Si Kuya Timo ang ating bahala. And this is going to be game number 2, Vipers Infinity Squad versus NXG Paradox. Sa game number 1, NXG Paradox natin nanalo. With the
Malaki
style
na pondo
points.
sa impyerno.
Malaki punto sa impyerno. No problem.
Walang kaso, sagot niya daw.
Okay, total, nasa impyerno naman na rin eh. Let's
This is
go. Game number 2 tayo. Will it be enough for Vipers Infinity? No, makakahanap pa sila ng diskarte to proceed sa game 3. Pero di natin alam. Kasi nagulat kaming dalawa dito. Sa Katarina pick potentially. Kasi, anong mangyayari? Paano nila pipigilan tong Katarina na magwala? Siguro sa early phase.
Shockwave.
Shockwave, that's a big ultimate. Special delivery, big ultimate. Flag and drag lang. Pero ang nipis nun. And at tagal ng animation.
Maybe Encore can help.
That's still a big ultimate.
Pero, di ba? Your big ticket ultimates to stop a Katarina, that's not something you would want.
On canceling this, on locking up this Katarina. Pag nahuli siya nung dalawang beat drop siguro, coming from the Seraphine, that's quite good.
This is Chovy's game to lose at this point.
It will be up to him. Kung ang nga lang, very tricky lang, is there's not a lot coming from NXG na magsiset up for this Katarina, no? Something like a lock, something like pwede ma-put down very low para makarating into win at pumasok na yung Katarina natin for the cleanup kasi yung voracity, kailangan yan, may mapatay para talaga may maximize yung full potential ng Katarina. She needs to get the 3 sets, she needs to get the double bouncing blades, the double preparation, yung mga daggers on the floor. Kailangan yan. Kailangan yan, doble, triple. Sabi nga nila, get your daggers on the floor. Get your daggers on the floor with the Scuttler Crab. Dito is secure. And also on the mid, top din, no? Kala ko blue side lang pala. Blue side pala na nakuha. Very aggressive rotation coming here, Alieri. No? Interestingly, no? Seraphine and Oriana for Kite. Itong double mage Dragon Lane duo nila, Kuya Isaac.
I'm feeling very, very scared right now, no? Kasi iniisip ko rin, pag itong Corki at itong Oriana nahuli, it's a GG for Vipers.
Oo.
Ang ganda rin kasi na ang lahat ng attention nyo mapupunta sa Gragas, Sinjao, tsaka Katarina. That leaves so much potential for the Ezreal to just keep preheating.
Si
Not to
Wage.
mention, nababantayan siya netong si Janna. Di ba?
Oo nga, no? Hindi siya basta-basta pwede pasukin nila sa Amael. With the Monsoon, no? Easy. Howling Gale din. Mahihirapan naman. Oh, double kulong ang meron sa Vipers Infinity Squad. But all it will take is probably a Monsoon or a Crescent card. So, ang ganda talaga. Alam mo, bago pala mag-umpisa yung laro, pabor na talaga ako agad dito sa NXT Paradox eh. Hindi naman sa bias or whatsoever. I just like the way how they approach itong drafting phase natin. And right now, things are looking scary for Infinity Squad. On the draft lang. On the draft pa lang to, na. Wala pang action na gaganap. Wala pang na-first blood. Wala pang mga naaagaw na kung ano-ano. Pero we have an, parang basic understanding of what can be the outcome ng mga team fights natin. And also, itong Katarina, again, I'd like to reiterate, to cancel out this Katarina, you really need to use big ticket ultimates, no? You need to use that encore, you need to use that shockwave. And yung mga crowd control, yung hook shot, and yung flag and drag, it's really hard to target a moving target, to use those skill shot, no? Na may linear pa naman, at yung hitbox nun hindi ganon kalaki. And knowingly ang Katarina natin, sexy yan. Makakailag yan ng mga skill shot.
Kaya ganito ang setup ni Chovy, no? Because it doesn't matter what happens. At the end of the day, maubos man makakakampi niya, kailangan gamitin ng Vipers ang lahat. And if they use everything in the tank, that only means they'll have nothing left to stop the Katarina. Aside from out-damaging the Katarina. Yun na lang ang magiging option niya. If you can't stop that ultimate, try to kill this Katarina as fast as possible. Right now, the package is already committed. Lots of damage. That is going to be the Mountain Drake going to the side of Viper's Infinity. Pero ngayon, si Chovy naman ay umaariba. Pero mukhang mapapasuko na dito ang mga members ng Viper's Infinity because that is a triple kill for going down from the side of Vipers. And NXG Paradox securing a 2K gold advantage. Not able to stop the mobility and the damage output coming from NXG.
Oo. Ezreal, Yuichi, tingnan mo naman, as you can see, yung space that he has a lot of room to do things on this part, at this point of the game, no? Tatamaan lang siya ng isang phosphorus bomb lang ang na-damage sa kanya. Pero throughout, he was free hitting. Free as a bird on hitting, grabe. What can you do about that? You need... paano natin magagawa ng paraan tong Yuichi na to? Oh, sige. We'll give attention onto this Katarina. Oh, siya potentially clean up sa atin. Pero don't forget, this is an Ezreal.
Exactly.
It has a lot of damage, it has a lot of range. And also, pag yan nakombohan ka, sapul ka nung second skill, yung Essence Flux, and with the Mystic Shot, alam mo na tol. Lista mo na.
It's actually very interesting rin, no? We're usually seeing Kite on the ADC role. This time it's Peke. Peke is on the ADC role, and then we have Kite on the Orianna.
Totoo. I've seen this a lot from Viper's Infinity na si Kite. He tends to favor picking up an Orianna, and if an Corki is available. Meron pa nga times na hindi sila kukuha ng dito ng mid lane na mage, yung traditional na mid lane talaga. But yeah, as we can see, a team fight is breaking out. It's gonna be the secure on the Rift Herald dito. And yung Viper's Infinity squad natin is getting pressured back to the base. But the quadra kill instantaneously, yung reset, yung voracity coming from this Katarina. Grabe na. NXG Paradox. They really just want to close out this game. It's the Katarina show. Just like you said, Kuya. Nothing can stop.
The Seraphine should not have been picked. This draft would have been beautiful with an Alistar. It would have been hard to stop Vipers.
Look at that.
But then the draft wise, no, nag-comport sila, lahat sila low. That's an easy quad for the cat.
The voracity. Yung mga daggers on the floor. Yung AOE.
It
Ito si
hurts.
Chovy, Katarina, grabe.
It really
hurts. Ang magmahal ng ganito. Wala tayong masabi.
Ang sakit, Chong!
Ang sakit!
Iniisip ko pa lang no?
Kuya Eddie!
This is why I enjoy watching drafts, studying players, studying teams, identifying itemization. Because now you're seeing the big and glaring weakness of Vipers. There is a weakness that Vipers can exploit when it comes to NXT Paradox, no? Pero we have yet to see that actually. Right now, the only weakness we're seeing being exploited is the weakness of Vipers not being able to stop this Katarina. And last but not least, no, ang pinaka-weakness lang dito ng NXT Paradox, it's actually fairly simple. If they get caught out, there is no escape. The only ones that can escape are the carries. Pero pag nahuli mo yung Jana, yung Gragas, yung Sinjao, hindi basta-basta makaka-escape yung mga yan. Take out those 3, leave the other 2. Diba? It's not like the Ezreal and the Katarina can fight by themselves. Knowing na up yung mga skills nyo. So if they can actually take out the members of NXT Paradox without burning a lot, then they can prioritize that, scale up, and then stand toe-to-toe in terms of damage. But,
they
but
also,
that's gonna be very hard to do.
They have, for now, but kung na-realize nila up in early, they had the range to do so. That's a Corki or Rihanna na Seraphine eh. Kung may lalapit man na Zinzao, or mag-overcommit na Gragas, or whatsoever, any frontliners coming from NXT, they can just poke it out, tone it down, bago magkaroon ng engage. Pero hindi na dumating yung opportunity na yun. Kasi yung NXT natin nakaka-establish na a bit too early on the dive, on the Dragon Speed.
Wala na rin siyang choice eh.
Wala na rin siyang choice kasi mag-e-expire na kanyang flag. So he needs to use the Dragon Strike to get in to that Dragon Speed pala.
Tsaka kung hindi siya nag-dive doon, patay na siya sa Katarina.
He need to take that chance, no? Kailangan niya talaga. Wala na siyang no choice, kumbaga. Wala ka ng no choice talaga. Pero kung in the early game, kung na-realize na, sige, ano natin to, i-shred down natin tong Zinzao. Hindi naman to like super hard engage eh. We don't have to invest a lot of skill. We don't have to engage. And once, may poke sila eh, potentially. Yung Corki, yung Seraphine, yung Oriana. Pero, wala na yung window opportunity na yun kasi yung Katarina right now is going ham. It's just going ham. Yoichi also has a lot of space to do Ezreal things, to do his poke, to do his constant damage as the dedicated marksman. That's basically it. On par nga rin siya sa when it comes to gold eh. Sa ating Katarina and also in kills. So, what can Viper's Infinity do? 12 kills ahead. Itlog pa rin. Itlog pa rin sila.
Mahirap man sabihin na ganito ang estado. Pero again, no, the battle starts in the draft.
Totoo.
And one of the big errors here is picking up a Seraphine. You are not going to win with a Seraphine in your composition. Especially if yung paraan nyo para manalo is going to be stopped by a Katarina that you cannot cancel. This is a glaring weakness. And the weakness of NXT Paradox is not easy. It's not easy for them to exploit with their current composition.
I think a Galio was available ba yung Galio? Eh, kahit hindi available yung Galio, may Rakan naman, may Alistar naman. But yeah, what's done is done. What's picked is picked. At gonna be the Shockwave on the back, Yuichi. You can definitely feel yung damage ng True Shot Barrage. 2 daggers are picked up and that's gonna be paining AoE damage. Just shredding any members from Viper's Infinity Squad. Itong Katarina na to, ito na talaga. It's the Katarina show without the Baron buff, tol. They can even probably close out this game.
I am liking what I'm seeing from Paradox.
Pero yeah.
It's showing that, you know, in terms of drafting, they understand what they need to do.
Yeah.
In terms of micro and macro, they're doing it very, very well. And then at the end of it all, no, something we have to point out is that NXT Paradox is just one of the teams that are looking really good in these playoffs. Monster Academy also did the exact same thing, no, where they were able to execute in terms of draft and in terms of play style. This kind of game was a massive outdraft because of that Seraphine. They could have been able to fight back, but they're not giving themselves an opportunity to do that. This is a charge to experience, something that the Vipers team can learn and understand and grow from. Pero, things like this, analyzing, coaching, understanding all of these things, it's a lot of work. So, hopefully mag-improve pa Vipers dito. Next gen Paradox. Beautiful Wild Rift. How do you stop Chovy? Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot. At least not in this game.
Not
So
in this
2-0,
lineup.
congratulations, NXT Paradox, solid performance. Moving on to the semifinals to face either Bren Esports or NXT Monster Academy.
Will it be an NXT pagkatapat sa Paradox? Pero baka mahirap yun kasi etong Bren Esports na to, isa rin to. Nakita natin kung paano sila mag-draft, Kuya Isaac. Iba din. Matindi rin. Will they show the same thing or will they show even better? We will see. Actually, we're gonna have a quick break pa pala. Will it be? Or can we proceed?
Can we proceed na ba? Si Jetro tsaka si Boss Rebenga nag-iingay na sa chat eh.
Oo nga,
Nakikispam din naka-hasta emoji to si Rebenga eh. Nagsaspam din siya eh.
Hindi ko naman ito.
Nakakatuwa to talaga. Oh my God. Pero, ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. We saw very, very good Wild Rift from both these competitors. We will see even more because the final series is going to be an absolute banger. Bren Esports versus Monster Academy. We will be back ba after a break? We'll be back after a break. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Oh, now I'm just here to be me. But this time's the last, and I won't go because I've set my mind in stone. I will never leave your side, you'll be here all the while. For the sunset will arrive, and no, there's no turning back now. So go on, oh go on, go on and meet me in the light now. Oh go on, oh go on, go on and see the light. So go on, oh go on, go on and meet me in the light now. Oh go on, oh go on. Inception.
are back once again. Lakan Esports Events. Sir Shoutcaster si Kuloy. Kasama ko si Kuya Isaac. And this is Pro Scrim Playoffs. Ito na yung inaabangan nyo. The great one. The ancient one. Spam this dinosaur. For Rebengasor.
Oo. Spam this dinosaur to support Rebengasor.
Rebengasor.
Let's go!
Sa bali mga kaibigan, may na laban to. Paano kaya mangyari? Ano sa tingin mo, no? Kuya Isaac, ang mangyari dito? Para sa akin, o para sa iyo, ano sa tingin?
Para sa akin, we are small but we are big. Pero para sa'yo, napakalupit. Diba? Gusto
Ano
ko
na?
makita ang
Ano?
pwedeng mangyari dito sa series na to. Ang isa lang naman ang magiging mahiwagang tanong ko no sa NXG Monster Academy.
Ano kaya?
NXG. Banyo 6 ha.
NXG. Matik na, sir. Banyo na yan. Tanggalin nyo na. Kasi support si... Kailangan... Paano na? Okay. So, I think... Ay,
May
nakaban.
bagong
Oo,
start.
nakaban. Uy, naku po. Bathroom break. Buko juice.
Sinusulit ko na yung buko.
Pero alam mo, real talk tol yung pinaka-solid na pang-hydration talaga buko juice mismo. Ramdam mo. Lalo pag hangover,
Lalo na pagka-anim yung best of 3 nakikakast mo.
oh! Mahal na kita, Isaac.
Let's go!
Buti na lang. Ikaw ang nasa...
Tinanong
Buti na lang ikaw nakuha ko sa Lakan Esports
Yung
events.
endurance ko, men!
Yung stamina! Yung stamina! Ako, kaya ko pa. May bukas pa naman ako, pero may mag-aalalay sa akin matindi rin. Okay? Pero buti ngayon, kung ako sa inyo, kung di pa kayo nakalike dito, kaya Isaac Cas, mag-like na ha! Okay?
Baka magsisi pa kayo.
Hindi, no. Real talk, mga tol, real talk. Nakita naman natin, the energy ito. Ako nga para uplifting mood. It's all good.
Sabi ko nga sa sarili ko, no? Ang sakit sa lalamunan mag-cast. Pero gusto ko mag-yosi.
Ako rin kanina eh. Parang, sumasabit na yung mga kada salita, pero, one stick.
No.
Pero
Let's
tas-
go. Pero speaking of one stick.
One
Diba?
stick. Uy.
Alam
Ano
mo
yan?
yung series na to?
Oo.
All it takes is one mistake. Oh! All it takes is one mistake.
Iba!
Para malintikan ang NXG
All
Monster
it
Academy dito.
takes is one mistake. Sprigitik. Pibuipilantik.
Arithmetic.
Nagwawasik. Arithmetic. Awithmetic ka na. Makikita natin. The Rebengasor.
Wag na. Ladies and gentlemen, wag na. As much as possible, you cannot make a mistake against Bren Esports.
Yes,
Monster
sir.
Academy knows that very well. They are going to do what they can so that it does not happen. And speaking of the Ziggs, no? Thank you! Monster Academy, I am now officially a fan sa lahat na nagbaban ng Ziggs.
Mismo.
Well played. Ziggs Akali banned out. Galio Camille tinanggal naman ng Bren Esports dito with the Diana being picked up. That's a block pick onto Hayes. No? But that only means that Hayes will pick up as Fizz.
Garen
It's
is
already
open.
something you can expect, no?
Garen is open. Pero si Jet, might be another God King ang kanyang magiging preference. Pero yun pa rin, we'll go back to the usual na Garen.
Pag
Pero
sinabi ni Rebenga, Garen ka, wala kang magagawa.
magagawa. Kahit mag-spam ka pa dito sa chat, na lagi na lang ako pinag-Garen ni Kuis Rebecca, Kuis. Ayun talaga, tol. Okay? But understood naman, and we know, itong disiplinado itong mga Bren Esports na to. Sa itemization, sa drafting, sa banning, alam natin ba na yung mag-sitrata niyan. So,
Saka at the end of the day, hindi
bro.
naman magda-draft ng ganito etong si Rebenga kung alam niya na hindi magiging pabor. Pero at the same time, no? Oh my God! Let's go! Let's go!
Sona Varus!
Bren Esports, you know, if there is a masterclass in how to do something, you know, a good example in these community tournaments is to look at what Bren Esports are doing. You're going up against a Corky Brom by picking up Varus and Sona. Your Valkyrie and your package will be nothing Bakit? Kasi yung ultimate ni Varus is stun. Lahat
Shit.
ng katabi ng tatamaan ng ultimate ni Varus
Yung
will
Chain of
also
Corruption.
be stunned after
few seconds.
duration. Oo.
I think
So,
1.2
dagdagan mo yun, no?
seconds.
Sabihin natin na Wombi-Combi, sama-sama sila dito pagdating sa Monster Academy. Magdikit-dikit sila at ma-ultimate sila ng Varus. Stun sila lahat. Follow up with Asona, Crescendo, bang! Stun na naman sila. May Chamda Waters ka, pangkalat. Meron kang Explosive Cast, pangkalat ulit. Tapos meron kang
Disengage.
Judgment. Di ba?
Oh.
With jet cutting in.
Oh, I've never thought, it never even
Painful.
crossed my mind, Kuya Isaac, no? Yung Chum the Waters can be a form of disengage kasi if you think about it, pag nilagay mo siya in a certain spot, ano siya, iilagan mo. Pero if di ka makailag, tatalsik ka.
Oh.
So it's still a way of to disengage.
Not only that, no, kung kanino man kakabit yun, masaslow.
That's really good to know.
The larger it is, mas lalo na husky yung lalabas dito imbis na pating, no?
Oh, Husky.
Pagka malaki ang kumabit sa'yo, you are going to be slowed depending on how big it is. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if that's the case. Pero I feel like the slow is bigger pagka mas malaki yung pating. Ewan ko lang, ha?
Psychological
Pero kasi
effect, maybe?
Pagka gaipot yung pating na binato ko, literal katabi ko lang siya, in-ultimate ko, hindi ganun katindi yung slow para sa akin ang pakiramdam ko
Nasa depende
Pero
sa
who
charge
knows?
yun, di ba? Yung layo ng hagis ng ball, nung bait.
Oo.
Yung shark bait.
And isipin mo na lang, di ba, yung knock up, pag lahat kayo tinamaan, sama-sama kayo, kakain ng ganun damage. Ito when you have Rod of Ages, Liandry's Torment, and then you add in Moralillo Nomicon, those 3 items alone on a feast. By the time you get that, a full range Chum the Waters is 1,500 magic damage. Why? Because I like using feast. So I know the numbers. That's 1,500 damage. Kung lahat kayo nagkumpulan, tapos max range Chum the Waters tumama sa inyo, isipin nyo yung damage output sa inyo. You guys can be deleted.
Definitely.
Sakit.
And AOE. And not just, si Fizz no? Si Rebenga, he's going for a more tanky build kasi kumuha siya ng Aftershock. But we aren't too sure completely. Baka kumuha siya ng somewhat of an AP. Pero I think yung diskarte ni Rebenga commonly sa Gragas is get that Sunfire Ages start. Pero ito yung nag-ano sa atensyon ko Naka-fleet footwork. Etong si Jet. What can be the reason no? Is it for added damage and also
Added
regeneration
damage,
sustain?
added movement, and the regeneration when you auto-attack. Diba? It sustains this Garen in the lane. That's the reason why. Tsaka mas mataas yung damage output na itong Garen na to. Because it scales on damage yung fleet footwork
Fleet
na yan.
footwork. I see. So,
The
might be,
difference
baka
between,
Black Cleaver.
The difference kasi between fleet footwork tsaka yung, ang pangalan ng green?
Grasp of the Undying.
Yung Grasp of the Undying and fleet footwork. Grasp of the Undying scales your HP. And heals you based on
man!
Yeah, solo kill in the mid lane. That's a Fizz.
Kasi
That's the Fizz. Outplay potential with
wala
the playful trickster.
Wala pang wala pang Chum the Waters used.
Hindi niya pa ginamit yung Chum the Waters doon. It's simply ignite and damage over time from the Fizz auto attacks, okay?
But yung playful trickster kasi it's not something underestimate
Yep.
Tapos yung talagang raw damage ng Fizz when it comes to laning, kahit
And
Diana ka pa
yung dash ni Fizz na yun, it
Yung
applies
tuso?
on hit effects.
Oo.
So you press your skill 2, you dash in, that applies. Makes your skill 2 much more painful, okay? And then, something to take note of, no? When you do something like that, and let's say for example, ayun, aray.
Aray ko, nawala. Si Brom nawala.
Disappearance, no? Disappearance from the Brom.
Missing Brom.
Going back to what we were talking about with this Garen, no? Grasp of the Undying can help you scale in terms of tanking. Pero in terms of damage, if you're going to itemize for damage, this Garen's gonna be scary with fleet footwork. Ngayon, going to that bot lane action, no? Nakikita nyo, they do not have to fully commit. They just need to throw out skills, just like that, and people will die.
The
And
range
then they're gonna do it again, eh di kawawa na naman, 3 deaths immediately for Monster Academy.
The the range that Varus has on the laning phase, no? To put members from NXT Monster Academy, itong Corki and Brom, that low. And just isang dalaw lang ni Kuya Rebenga, na Ancient One. Oo, insta-kill. Explosive cast. Tapos tamang first kill ng ating Varus will be enough. And going back
rotation.
And the rotation,
no? Ang bilis nila umikot sa mapa.
Oh, he's right here. Nag-replay lang, nandito na. Pero nga, si Jet, fleet footwork, yeah, that's good. Si Yubes, Conquerors. Usually we see the Grass of the Undying dito sa Fiora natin eh, no? So,
pero ito Conqueror on a Fiora, sakit yan.
masakit yan pero
Same goes for the Corki. Adaptive damage is no joke. Not to mention, adaptive damage was nerfed for ranged champions.
for ability
It
power.
was not nerfed for it was not nerfed for a Fiora. Kasi melee yung Fiora eh.
I see.
So yung 10% na bonus damage once you're able to proc Conqueror. Yes, as far as I know, no, the duration is lower. Pero it's not like the nerf coming in for range champions using Conqueror kasi yung 10% niya is 7% na lang.
Okay, I see.
Diba?
Nakita ko yung wave clear nung Varus. Ang bilis. Parang mid laner. Oh, the playful trickster. That's the ignite.
See?
That's the
the
outplay.
OT.
That's the outplay potential nga. Oh, pero
Mas na-outlast ng Diana.
Mat na outlast ng Diana.
May
Exactly.
second skill ability.
A Cyclone going to be used for this. For Rebenga. Is it worth it? Matatamaan ng Winter Spike. Rebenga decides to body slam back.
Wow.
The Glacial Fish, a lot is being invested here. And just a few, there's a Dragon active pa. And also going to be the Rift Herald. And si Mother Academy, wala ang jungler sa kalabala. Will they able to capitalize on this? Si Konsi, mahapdi yan, sir. That's gonna be a Conqueror's Fiora. At the back though, si Hayes focusing on this Corki and taking it down. Fiora with the second skill is going to be enough. It's gonna be a double kill for this Fizz and a playful trickster to clean up 3 members of Monster Academy. Oh, this Fizz.
They overstayed their welcome.
Overstayed their welcome,
Sobra,
pero it's
sobra.
gonna look deadly. Yung assassin to, par. Mag-i-snowball yan, par. Kaya mang one hit delete yan kahit without the Chando Waters eh. Later on, pag ganon, hapdi talaga nung yung knockback nga, yung disengage nung Masky. Bumalik pa si Hayes, oh. Tignan mo,
Oo.
not confident, pak.
Yeah, because you can dodge the skills.
Oo. Grabe.
If anything, they committed so many resources there to just taking out Rebenga.
Oo, sobra.
They got punished for it.
Sobra.
Because they overstayed with the answer back coming in from the Varus and the Sona, buying time for Hayes to come in and join the fight. Right after that, they got punished nga, and they still did not get anything out of it aside from a kill. Again, you have to understand that when you're going for kills, it's because you want to convert those kills into objectives. NXT Monster Academy could not convert into objectives, and now they're gonna need to fight a 50-50 again in the Cloud Breaker. Yan o. Ayan o.
It's gonna be the end
Ayan,
as a
no?
chain of the corruption. Di sila halos makagalaw. Pero si Konsi natin, mapofocus ata with the Diana. And the concussive blow is gonna go down. Pero si Hayes at si Garina, si Jet ang bahala para to clean up the crew. Si Yubs lang ang natitira. Muabalakatan ng Rift Herald. Napakaganda nga na chain of corruption. Pero ayaw ni Jet. Basta-basta nakaamoy ng Fiora at ini-smite na ay ini-ignite. And a flash that confident at inigutan ang ating God King na Garen, no? Yung chain of corruption, tinan mo pre-opak, tatlo. Oh, di nakagalaw. Tapos yung crescendo pa ni Mian, na dalawa, natamaan. Oh my goodness.
And again, no, why did Bren Esports win that team fight? It's because of the Ancient One. The Ancient One brought so much attention. Oo, tumumba siya. Pero, may nakakuha ba ng dragon? Wala pa. So, ayun, balik na naman tayo. Suntukan na naman.
Round 2, here we go. Na naman. Rebecca's gonna get stunned by the concussive blows. Wala mga ulti available. Patay ang haste natin. It's gonna be a 3v4 na andito parating na yung Garen. Lumalakbay na galing sa Baron Nate. It's gonna be a TV in the middle by the haste. Gonna be as secure by the Wukong. Itong Cloud Drake natin. Nagkakahamulan na ang ating Fuzz Fist dito. Umarap na Corki. Nag-heading nga lang yung tennis ball. Nailaga ng ating Corki. Pero will it be enough damage? Ang hapte ni Haze with a... Grabe yung tuhog mechanic nun man. Kung natamaan pa yun ng Playful Trickster, sabi ko sa'yo, Corky boy, you're gonna be gone. Wild. Look at that, look at that. Nakuha nila, Cloud Drake, that's good. But
then the follow-up, no?
The follow-up. Diana going down over there. Si Corky.
Eh.
Pag yun tumama talaga, lista mo na. Munti ka na pa? Muntikan ka pa? Uy. That's quite good. Who would have thought a lineup like this? Who would have thought a lineup? Look at the left side. Look at the left side. That's a Corky. That's a Brom. That's a goddamn Brom. And a Fiora. Diana. And a Wukong. That's really strong. And what's beating them? Right here. The Ancient One and his crew. Hindi. I hate to say that. Rebecca, Haze, Jet, Mian, and Consi with a very, very creative lineup. That is really, really working right now. Consi
Hindi naman
shining.
yung pag-scale netong si Ace. Wala na siyang katakot-takot, di ba?
Item check tayo, kuya.
See?
Sorry.
Lich Bane.
Bane! Rabadon!
Lich Bane Rabadon immediately.
My
and
goodness.
you can go for the Infinity Orb. Specifically so that when the DOT applies when you're under 35%, critical yung DOT na binabato ni Fizz. Okay? That's going to hurt even more to last week. So isang jump na water,
Unat pa rin?
dash, patay na. Tapos di naman si Jetro. Di ba? What are you gonna do to stop Jetro at this point? It's a fleet footwork Garen, and at the same time, a tanky Garen. So
the damage.
Repose?
The outplays. Okay. That's quite good. That's quite big.
Ganda na, Master Academy.
Fiora, does she have TP? Meron ba siya TP? Gate of Crush is gonna get hit onto this. It's gonna get collapsed. Yung Brom natin, trying his best to defense. Pero Diana, will it be a moonfall onto this Garen only? At hindi pa mamamatay yung God King natin. Itong Varus pa bumabanat. Eto na sila Consi. Eto yung Sona, yung Mia nakikipag-hapiran sa harapan ng mga Master Academy natin. Dalawang flash pad sumusundot na medyo sexy na ilagan pero auto-attack na lang will be enough to clean up ang mga miyembro natin dito sa NXT Academy and the Ace. Wow! Look at that!
The Ancient One shows up clutch. Sabi niya, wait lang, pare mo, kailangan mo na siya! Ayun! Just like that, no? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 10k gold advantage prior to the fight even ending. Can you imagine the advantage that Bren Esports can accumulate while NXG are trying to respond? That is a Baron taken by Bren Esports already, and it's only 12 minutes into the game. It's a little late, oo, pero considering the matchup and the amount of kills
Look
in
at
this
that!
game,
Oh!
kita mo yun, ha?
Ow!
Kill lang yun.
Man, that's gonna be a cyclone. That's quite big. Okay? Yeah, they're gonna get this haste. Pero mapapatay ba yung Wukong, par? And here comes the God King Garen. Will Jet go for this? Kinakabahan niya pa yung mga tropa niya. Kasi malapit na. Pero eto na. Judgment call na. Pero kailangan nila bumak-out. The Ancient One. Nakikita ko na nagmabibilis. Malaki yung shot. Pero uminom muna. Sumatin. Batis lang flash. Wala. Explosive gas. Is it going to be used? Hindi naman. Easy Bugatti. Okay?
Regardless whether they killed the food there, I think that was his intention. Diba? Kasi that will buy time for Bren to position and prioritize this Infernal Drake. While they committed resources to take out Haze, that only means the ward coverage. O, tingnan mo, there's a triangle of wards. One in the Tribush, one in the Raptor Camp, and then one in the Dragon Pit. They burned so many resources for this. Diba? And they can get that Infernal after taking this tower. Kasi walang pang contest.
Wala talaga, sir. Wala talaga. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very, very difficult. No? They invested a lot on that phase. Is it gonna be a single man moonfall? Ito na nga ang trabaho ng Jivator natin. The Ancient One ni Rebecca. burning that Moonfall in, and that Cyclone na, wala na. Pedo ng forma. Nandito na ang Fizz with the TP. Nakikita mo, naghahanap pa. Onsi! Bakit na? Within range, mapasok na si Yubes. Monster Academy. Can they hold out? Dito sa ating Brains Esports with the playful Sixer. Killing onto that Fiora. Yung tennis ball natin mahahagilap. Si Easy Peasy. Naku, aray! Half-lane ka lang. Nataplisan ka lang dun, pero half-lane ka agad ka dun. Pati si Kunsi. Wall pa rin at mahapdi. Eto na. Eto na talaga, dalawa. Tori and BDP turrets are gone. And Bren Esports, no? A masterclass. Not just in the draft, but on handling team fights. Konsi. Di natin matidinay itong Konsi natin with an immobile ADC, no? Sige, may tulong ka sa Sona. Sige, may tulong ka sa Garen. Pero he's not easily caught off guard kahit wala siyang built-in dash. Wala siyang built-in escape mechanism. Pag nakikita ko hinagis yung chain of corruption, may tinatamaan talaga. Tapos, sa magandang lugar pa.
Exactly.
Grabe.
Ito yung, oh my god. Pagka minalas ka nga naman, nag-hello pa yung Husky. Di ba? Ay, yan ang sinasabi ko, ladies and gentlemen. This is the masterclass of Bren Esports on how to play weird compositions drafted by none other than the Ancient Ones, no? Hindi sa bias or anything, pero you have to appreciate the efforts being done by Yabs. Yabs, etong si Yonko, si Dinyo, and si Biang. Not to mention, etong si Easy Peasy trying so hard to fight off this kind of composition. But they were drafted to be outplayed. Tingnan mo yung ginagawa ng Fizz. They have to commit so many resources, buying so much for them to take out the Fizz, and at the very end of it all, that's one Moonfall easily dodged. While this is all happening, no, all of the resources they committed to that, Bren Esports are taking this Baron. Who's going to contest that? The Monster Academy are fighting back good. Napakaganda ng performance ni Fiora, no? Outstanding talaga. Pero when you get stunned like this, and the magic damage of the Blight coming in from the Varus, pinaputok niya gamit ng skill 3 o skill 1, you are going to die. Okay? Ang hirap labanan nitong draft na to, not because sobrang galing ng ginagawa ng Bren Esports or sobrang OP ng gamit nila, but it's mainly because before the fight starts, Bren Esports, their strategy is to force you guys to use skills, use summoners, use things that will benefit them when they actually commit to the fight. And now, look at this. They're chasing after a low health Ziggs, a low health Fizz. They're gonna be able to do that. But while this is all happening, the base is already in shambles. The flash in from the Prom to try to save him. But it's too late. Apologize because yet again, Bren Esports will take game number 1.
Victory!
Style points.
Beautiful style points. Napakaganda ng Varus na yun. Pero, you know, I gotta give props to my man Mjan. Tumatangke. 3-0 and 18. Tumatangke na Sona, humaharap.
Oo.
Okay?
Sona yan ha. Nakikipagkapiran.
Ito look at the items. What did Diana itemize? When you look at the items of the Diana, there is no Morelionomicon.
Let's see.
Diba? There's no Morelionomicon. It's too late. You prioritize the Roa and the Rabadon. The Rabadon was a mistake. You could have gone for the Morelionomicon first because you needed to counteract the sustain coming in from the Sona. Maganda yung item dito ni Yonko. They had the Executioner's Calling, but again, it was too late. When the problem was too big na, that's the only time they itemized the anti-heal. Same goes for Yabs, to. Lots of damage, no anti-heal. Easy peasy, the one jungler. Siya pa nag-itemize ng Bramble Vest. Where's the Bramble Vest on Dinyol? Wala rin. Why did Bren Esports win this? It's not because of the flashy plays or the beautiful setups.
It's the
but
methodical.
it's mainly because it's very methodical and they put NXG Monster Academy in such a tough spot. Mainly because NXG did this to themselves. Hindi sila nag-itemize to counter the members of Bren Esports. This is Rebenga building damage, Roa Infinity Orb. Tapos etong si Jet, di ba? You can already see that yes, while Haze is doing so much, Haze is not the problem. Haze is a distraction. It's a Fizz. Consi is the issue here. And with Consi being sustained so hard by Mjan, MVP performance, Ona-Sona, diba? They did not stop this snowball from happening. Very, very solid performance from Bren.
Galing.
Diba? Bow down to the Ancient One.
Sa ano draft niyan no? No doubt. The creativeness, the experience, no? Hindi, sige na, let's go ahead. Let's joke around. Spam this dinosaur to support Rebeccasaur.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, no? Let's all do this. Let's all do this, you know. Napakaganda ang performance doon, but I gotta say it, ladies and gentlemen. Spam this dinosaur to support Rebeccasaur. Wag yung report page niya, ha? Not report Rebeccasaur. Support Rebeccasaur. Okay, let's go. Pero wait lang, guys. Wag niyo kakalimutan. Okay, this is next gen versus past gen because of Rebecca. pero, you know, I still have hope. I like what next gen Monster Academy are doing.
Boomer versus Zoomer.
Ang ganda ng performance ng NXG. And I'm starting to like this org a lot because of these two teams, Paradox and Monster Academy. Very solid. Yung nga lang again, no?
The draft.
This is still Bren Esports.
The draft.
You know, and the drafting, the itemization,
the wisdom
is what killed them.
The fourth wise man.
There's nothing wrong with the draft here, no? From NXT Monster Academy.
It's a powerful draft. It's a powerful draft, all.
Walang problema. It's the itemizing that cost
exactly.
them.
The wisdom from the fourth wise man. And sabi nga nila, ano ba yung sinabi mo sa akin, yung nagtanim ng puno ng mansanas kila Adam and Eva. Ayun.
Si Rebecca.
Si Rebecca.
Siya yung nagtanim nun. Sa mga nagtatanong, no, we still have one game left for NXG Monster Academy to come back from it. Because if they can win the next game, they can force a game 3.
Yes, sir.
But if they don't, this series will end with a 2-0 victory for Bren Esports. The question of the matter is, no, Boss Kaloy, paano babawi ang next gen Monster Academy? Kasi wala namang glaring mistake aside from the itemization. They did well, they did what they could, and they did what they could possibly do at the time, especially against Bren Esports. Pero there can be something that they can improve on going into game 2. Ano yun?
Si Yubs, parang he was fantastic in playing Fiora. Siguro, they need to maintain
Keep the Fiora.
Keep the Fiora. And the rest of the members, this EasyPC is not that bad, no? So, ang maganda lang, parang change of mindset. When you see, nakukuha sila lang something like an assassin, like a Fizz, whatever, you really have to recognize kung ano talaga yung strengths and yung mga purposes ng mga champions. Don't commit too much. Don't commit too much resources. If you're a team composition na kailangan kompleto yung mga big ticket ultimates nyo to perform wait. Sasalinan na akong tubig, nag-discuss ako. Anyway, to perform as good as needed be. Alright? You have to really choose your fights wisely. Sige, pwede kayo mag 4-1 formation, keep that Fiora. Si Yubs, no? He had moments of brilliance. He killed the Garen. I think more than twice. Outplayed the Fizz with the repose. So keep that Fiora.
Tsaka si Yonko. Si Yonko napakaganda ng ginagawa ng Corki niya. But again, no, too little, too late. Lots of damage on the Corki, yes. Pero, the other three have to step up. Nahihirapan ng todo si EasyPC. They shut down this Wukong so early.
Change of mindset when it comes
tapos
to...
si Dinyol rin, the itemization.
It's a bit too late. He rushed that Rabandon instead of going for that Moralinomicon. He failed.
Hindi, Brom yun.
Ayun Brom pala. Hindi siya kumuha ng Bramble Vest. No? Even the Diana rin, di ba? Hindi na siya nakabuo ng Moralinomicon.
Too late rin yung Moralinomicon. And Bren plays fast. You're not gonna get a chance to, to get to that point. You want to itemize early against professional teams like this.
Yung Sona kasi given di ba? Yung form of sustain, kaya yung si Consi natin, just as an immobile ADC, no? if he's in the perfect pocket, na he's in perfect position, ang bigat bitaw nung blight arrows. Tapos panabaksakan ka pa ng chain of corruption.
Yep.
Ako po, kwento mo na. Tapos hindi ka makakatakas basta. Pag yung nag-charge na, bang!
And you know,
There's a wave
there's brilliance
hirap,
as well eh. Kasi kung makikita mo naman, no, hirap rin kahit papano si Consi. Because this Diana, this Brom,
Kept going in.
actually, Monster Academy, something to commend is their targeting. They know who they need to take down.
During team fight.
But they were lacking. They were lacking because they had to commit resources before the fight even started. Why? Kasi nangungulit yung Fizz. Nangungulit yung Ancient One. Di ba? And then to add to all of that, no? Yung damage build ng Garen. Naka-Infinity Edge.
Oh, he went for that.
Anak na toko, di ba?
Ba't ako may face mask dito? Naka fleet footwork.
Yep.
For more damage and nag-i-scale. True damage, no?
Yep.
So to completely capitalize kung ano yung nakuha niyang mastery, why not build an Infinity Edge, no?
And imagine, no, you add Triumph on top of that where you get more damage if it's under 35%. And then you heal for 10% because of the last hit that you deal with Demacian Judgment.
True.
That only means that, yes, this Garen may seem to be dying, but if he gets the last hit, the HP comes back.
Yes, sir. 10% of your health, no? It's gonna come back if you get an execute. If you get a kill. Kill or assist? Kill, no? For the triumph na, no?
I think assist apply rin eh. Yun ang
Assist
thing
applies?
Eh. That's the thing
Oh.
rin eh, no? I'm not too sure, no? Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. But if assist apply to Triumph, it's a very big deal. And that's one of the reasons why champions like Garen, like Mundo, you know, like Olaf, they find a way to sustain because of runes. Understanding the capabilities of runes, how to use them, what to pair them against, you know, what the strength of your champion is in conjunction to these runes. Using them very, very well makes it for a very, very solid game. Kaya napakaganda ng Wild Rift eh, kasi ang dami mong pwedeng posibilidad. Di ba? Who's to say that you're not allowed to use Fizz as a tank? Who's to say that you're not allowed to pick a damage build on the Garen? Who's to say that you can build ability power on the Varus? There are so many possibilities and it's all up to you and your creativity. As long as it's what your team needs and you play for your team, there will be many opportunities for you to do whatever you want to get the gold. Diba? Beautiful Wild Rift yet again. But of course, as we continue saying this, we have to point out, no? We have to point out, etong Bren Esports, okay, etong Bren Esports are looking dominant. Okay? But this is just the surface of the professional esports scene in Wild Rift. We still have to take into account that yes, Bren Esports are a great and solid organization along with his team, but there are so many other monsters in the Wild Rift scene that are in the tier 1 status.
Team Secret.
Diba?
In the
The likes of Nextplay and Secret, the likes of Omega, Sunsparks, ang dami pa. This is just the beginning. So, ang sa akin, no, di ba, dapat lahat tayo may standard. If you have what it takes to take out Bren Esports, you have a chance to match up against the big dogs.
Yes,
Di ba? And this team right now is showing you guys a very beautiful kind of game. And it allows you guys to experiment more, to understand more, and learn more about Wild Rift. And now, no, with one game down for Monster Academy, what do they pull out to stop Bren Esports? It's a Kaisa, a Corki, and a Seraphine.
But this lineup.
Exactly.
You
You remember? Do you remember?
Do you remember? 21st
Doon
na,
nung September.
Mayayari tayo sa Tristana.
Yan na naman
Kasama
tayo.
po si Ziggs
There we go.
dito. Ay,
Ziggs
grabe.
Tristana. Why is Ziggs Tristana such a scary composition? It's because Tristana has so much attack speed and the explosive charge is capable of dealing a lot of damage to the tower. Add in the Ziggs damage though from the auto attack to take out a chunk of health from the tower and then a satchel charge to last hit. That's an immediate tower gone before the fight even starts. If they prioritize for objectives, this Ziggs Tris comp is
Will work.
scary.
Scary. And also to consider, no? Yung Tristana, it's not a joke. Kapag umabot yan in the later phases of the game, even, syempre, dahil magpo-focus sila sa objectives, they tend to prefer extended games, so they tend to not choose team fights. Kasi right now, yung NXG, when it comes to team fight, it looks very powerful.
Exactly.
Double ADC with an AoE Corki. Tapos yung Seraphine natin, on-core combination with the Cyclone, alam natin yan. Mahirap yan. Pero, in Bren Esports, I'm sure they'll focus more on steals. Kumuha ng Vice Rebecca, which is one of the more strongest junglers in getting or closing into dragons and hopefully get a smite steal. And Fiora siguro for the lane pressure as well. Pag nagkaroon ng opportunity itong sila Tristana and si Ziggs on just one turret, it's going to be gone. So mangyayari dito, they're gonna extend the fight. They're gonna prolong somehow the match. They're gonna drag this out. And if it reaches to a point na level 13 or level 14 with items ang Tristana and Ziggs,
Yes, sir.
the range is going to be difficult to close for
Exactly.
Wukong, for Garen, and even for Corki. Yeah, that's a range champion. Even for the Kai'Sa, that's a range champion. But hindi yan kasing layo bumira nung dalawang mga bulilit natin galing sa Bundle City.
Diba?
So, dito natin magkakaalaman. Kai'Sa though, dito sa mid lane, it's quite interesting.
I don't think it's bad. I think Kai'Sa mid is starting to become something that's part of the meta na talaga.
For that early
To
spike, no?
to
Get
incorporate the Corki rin kasi. 'Di ba? Since the Corki mid lane has been nerfed considerably, hindi na ganun ka-viable si Corki sa mid lane, then why not put the Kai'Sa there instead and have Corki in the side lane? It's not bad. It's actually pretty good to have Corki and Kai'Sa in one comp. And it's pretty much viable because the Corki has ability power as well. But then, this is a battle of range. You may think that okay, etong si Hayes, etong si Consi, ang taas ng range nila and it only gets better at the longer the game drags out. Viang can close the gap immediately with Killer Instinct.
If
Yonko has the package close the gap as well. Ito si Dinyol, Encore, walang aawat sa Encore dito. Walang Brom. Okay? And then, of course, it's only the issue of Yabs and etong si Gobos. Wala na si easy peasy si Gobos na to actually change the potential outcome, no? By making sure this Wukong and this Garen can close the gap. But considering that napakagandang performance na ni Yabs, di ba? I'm pretty sure he's capable.
Possibly.
He's capable of doing it.
But,
and ito yun, nabati ko nga.
nabati
Shoutout
ko
lang
naman.
pala kay July. Thank you very much for confirming that Triumph Rune applies kahit assist lang.
Ooh,
That
that's
makes
good
the
to hear.
Garen scarier.
That's good. Thank you so much, July. But yeah, the Fiora for this Jet, no? Fleet footwork din ang kinuha niya. So, tingin ko parang preference lang din ni Jet, no? Na kumuha ng fleet footwork for... Kasi depende rin kasi sa mindset ng tao kung anong klaseng mastery. It's not up to the meta. And I think itong Bren Esports natin, based on the first draft that they made, they're not following the usual. Definitely. But here, we can see na yung Kai'Sa, it's going to be punished. Yeah, of course. Ito yung window time that you really need to abuse for this Kai'Sa. If you're gonna distribute this Kai'Sa onto the mid lane, that's still an ADC. Okay? Prone yan sa 3-man. And what could be a better position than the mid lane, no? Kasi from all directions, you can visit it. Hindi masama, hindi ka masyado, unlike a side lane, no? Hindi ka ganon na makaka-create ng space. Also na early phases pa rin naman din ng game. So I think Bren Esports is in the right mindset, looking to get that opportunity, looking to shut down that Kai'Sa, to possibly prevent her from getting that early power spike na makakakuha nga siya ng Evolve Ikatian Rain. And I've seen it before pag doing Dragon Fight, tapos yung mga Kai'Sa, meron ng makating Ikatian Rain, parang triple kill, minsan, pag maganda talaga nangyayari, quadra kill pa talaga ang nakukuha ng mga Kai'Sa natin. But yeah, going back, siguro yung Rakan na to, will be enough, no? Will be good against this. Kasi yung mga ADC natin, sabi mo nga, they have the killer instinct to close the gap. Oh, there's particularly long range dito Ziggs and kila Tristana as the game progress. But nga, sabi mo, special delivery and killer E-stick will be enough to close the gap. Ito namang Rakan natin, pwede siyang parang somewhat of appeal. He's very mobile. He can catch up to these very, very mobile ADCs as well. With the grand entrance and also yung quickness, no? Madaplisan niya lang yon, makukuha yung attention. That will allow itong mga range ADCs natin, itong mga Yordles natin, to reposition themselves, to get themselves in a better pocket, and to do the damage that is needed from them, no, Kuya Isaac?
Yep. Yep, exactly. And considering all of that, no, this first Drake is going to be very critical. Kasi the mobility can help him closing up. Oh my god, beautiful encore. Pinasok na nga. Ginamit yung package para makapasok doon. Pero yung lalang, tamang
Ayaw
pasok
nga.
ba ang kailangan nila dito?
Rakan!
Matay na yung Wukong. Sasama
Rakan!
pa ata dito si Yoko. Yoko, tamang takbo na lang.
Rakan!
Kasi kailangan niya. The Rakan is critical right now.
Sabi sa'yo.
With what he's doing here. Beyond
Rakan!
the barrier. Is it
Pop!
enough? The outplay again, the grand entrance and the knockback from Ziggs, and it's still
Oh!
going to be damage after damage after damage. And it's 4-1 now in favor of Bren Esports. 2-1 actually, no?
Oh,
Not too bad, but still, again with a kill. Pero ready yung Wukong to turn this fight around kung sakaling kailangan.
Kung
It's still
aabot,
possible, no?
may honey fruit.
4K gold advantage, but then the honey fruits, it's gonna keep them alive
Kuya-
for any potential
Kuya
guys,
Isaac,
but then,
Kuya
my
Isaac,
God.
yung Rakan talaga. Nakakabati ko lang. Siya talaga ko kontra nung dalawang ADC. And
Diba?
the moment na nahuli, di ba, ng Encore, followed out immediately with the Cyclone. No hesitations. Yung dalawang ADC used all the cab closers that they had. Pak! Special delivery, killer instinct. And like I said, Mian, maiinit mag-support. Kanina nagsusona yan, MVP performance. Ngayon, with the Rakan performance, kakaiba. Kakaiba tong support na to. He knows what to do. He knows how to peel. And with the mobility that he has, he can catch up onto these very, very mobile ADCs. And it will let itong mga bulilit natin from Bren Esports to get themselves in a good position, in a good range. And now we're gonna see an engage. The grand entrance is not gonna get hit onto this Corki. Muntikan lang. But that will allow, no, the Rift Herald to be secured for NSC Master Academy. Cloud Drake, for this lineup, no, somewhat critical. They need that extra move speed, definitely.
I don't think it's bad as well na hindi nakuha ng Bren Esports to. I think it's fine with them kasi it's a Ziggs and a Tristana. Okay lang sa kanila, oh. Ito mo, kaya lang kumuha ng Torek, kahit walang Herald eh. Pero yun nga lang, magkakaroon ng bakbakan dito, ibabato nila lahat. At ang pwede nilang ibato is the Kaisa
Double kill.
going wild to answer back. 2 dead for Bren Esports. You may have taken the tower, but this Kaisa
Meron
is
isa
out for blood.
May isa pa tower na kinuha sa baba. Ayun yung kapangyarihan ng Tristana. I think, huling silip ko nun, malusog yung Tori na yon. Pero sa Tristana, boost yan, pre. But top 2v1! Si Konsi! Kukuha pa ng honey fruit. Ay, hindi. Joke lang. Kala ko kukuha pa siya ng honey fruit.
Sayang.
Pero kaya niya sana. Kaya niya sana man.
Tsaka nag-reset yung rocket jump niya. Hindi niya na ginamit.
Siguro sana kung gumamit siya ulit. Pero, ayun. Nakakuha sila ng mid lane turret opener sa nila. Pero kumuha din si Tristana kanina. Siguro up 10-10 for him. Pero it's not bad eh. To kill a Corki in a 2v1 situation, it's not bad. It's actually good for you as a Tristana na mas favorable yung later phases of the game. No? So kung napapatay siya at nasa shutdown siya ng mid-game where Corki should shine the most, that's something threatening for NXT Master Academy.
One of the weakness of this Tristana, no, is if the Tristana falls behind, it becomes very, very hard for the Tristana to catch up and match up to the opponents. High risk, high reward, kumbaga.
But for
Pero
this case,
there is the glaringly obvious Corki, di ba? That can only get better, like fine wine. So, ano yan eh, issue yan. Issue talaga yan when it comes to Bren Esports drafting it like this. They need to make sure they stay ahead if they want to continue snowballing. Because if they're not ahead, this Kaisa and this Corki can be very devastating. Kaya nilang pulbusin bigla si Mjan. Kaya nila gawin yun sa Tristana at sa Ziggs. It's not gonna be an issue because they will have all the damage in the world. But right now, no, what will Bren Esports capitalize on? It's the push. It's to make sure that they control the wave so that even if they do die, there is no way for Monster Academy to come back and try to push their own towers. Tingnan mo ngayon, no, wala pang napupush.
Yung supposed na strategy for this 2 Yordle, no? Pero nga tulad mo na sabi before, no? As the fight extends, why not di ba parang ang supposedly iniisip mo magkasama yung dalawang bulilit? Alam ko na sabi mo to before yung nakita natin yung Tristana in Ziggs na lineup. In the early phases of the game, parang hinihiwalay nitong dalawa na to. For the sake na yung pressure sa lane din and also to even add it off yung Fiora. Pero it's gonna be a bit too ambitious for Jet kasi naganap siya ng solo kill. He went for a flash launch onto the Corki. Yeah, he got the final vital, but hindi na complete na patay.
So napunta yung Mega Inferno Bomb off the map.
That's gonna be the Cyclone in. Si Judgment natin with the use. That's gonna be the Assault and Battery, the Ancient One onto this Wukong. Wala nang available. Pumasok na with the quickness. Si Rakan, inuli niya lahat. Pero masyado atang ambitious dun. Unti na lang puputok yung mga bomba, pero yung Garen natin nabuhay pa. Nag-referral na sila bumaksak. Infernal Drake is available. And right now, Monster Academy needs to recall.
Napaka-clutch nung damage output na yun. Why? Because that will shove all of them back. That buys enough time for Bren Esports to secure this Infernal Drake before they can even arrive.
They can
Uncontested.
shred this Infernal Drake sobrang quick, tol. Kasi grabe naman kasi yung attack speed talaga ng wala pang yan ano mo tawag doon? Yung tinatanim na bomba.
Wala pa explosive charge.
Explosive charge, exactly. Wala pa explosive charge yun dun sa Infernal Drake natin. And tulad nga na sabi ko kanina, if this game prolongs, sige, kaya tawag dito, there's a lot of damage coming from the Corki and the Kais as well. But ganun din naman for Tristana in Ziggs. Pero kailangan nilang diskarte, hindi sila papahuli. They need to really abuse yung range na meron kay Haze. Okay? Mian can only save itong dalawang bulidin na to so much, no? Pero kapag talagang huling talaga nasa alanganing posisyon na, nahihirapan din yung Rakan. At napaka-tipis din considering ng Rakan. Pero mawawalan ata sila ng Wukong. Pero si Rebecca rin is gonna go down. But once he has the reset, that's the rocket jump. Yung Rakan natin dumidiin. It's gonna be 3 members from NXT Master Academy going down. And with just the Ancient One gun, a lot of resources are used. A lot of champion going down. Eto na! Jet! Wow! We were close to touch the Mass and Justice doon, Team Wild!
Ayan na.
In the heat of the moment, no? In the heat of the moment. What could you ask for?
Beautiful repose.
Beautiful
to time
repose.
it, no, and dodge that Demacian.
What more could you ask for this Fiora? For this Jet? Jetro! Look at that! Look at that! Ew! Wow! Ilang... Ano? Kinikilig ako, man. Fraction of a second. Parang anticipated no?
I think he knew for a fact that, Yabs would at least try to use the ultimate.
Oo. Pero kung nahuli siya noon, he's dead. He would have been dead. That's gonna be the Mega Inferno pa. Pero wait lang. Ito na yung Assault and Battery. Malalim. Pinasok ng Asian One natin. Pero si Haze natin with enough distance. Si Miana ang bahala. Ito na ang Rakan. Nagpapaulan na ng mga Ikachan Reyna si Fiang Ma. Pero si Yongko naghahanap. Hindi pa tapos ang laban. Parating na rin ang Fiora. May engage. Pero sumablay. Binagsakan na malaking espada. Dalawa na ang mga bulilit. Nawala. Masyadong overcommit. Pero wag ka mag-alala. Itong si Jetro. May banat yan. Hindi niya pa nababaksak. Ang ilaw kasi gusto niya ibaksak. Yung Kaisa ang gusto. Ikaw naman ang next, Kuya mo Yums. Corner ka na. May support. May Jetro. That's the knock-up. That's the launch. May Rebecca. May Ancient One. And it's gonna be a double kill for this Fiora. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Sige, overcommit.
Wala nang problema. You have a tower, doesn't matter. Angel will tank so the Fiora can go wild. And that's exactly what they did. Napakaganda.
Dalingin. Timba si Jetro. And bumabanat pa rito. Ulit pa, par. Hindi pa siya tapos. Hindi pa siya tapos. Gusto niya pang
styling right
umubaws.
now. Bren Esports is styling on
pressure.
Monster Academy.
Mismo.
And this is where the pressure comes in, no? When you feel like the game is out of your control, what do you do?
Oh!
What do you need? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, that's sustained, but that's going to take out the Fiora. It's not over just yet though. The charm is gonna be around so that the Kaisa will fall. The Mega Inferno Bomb is there. Vi is gonna be taken out. Garen trying to fight 2v1 while the Gorky tries to free hit, but it's not enough. The Ziggs is damaged. Okay?
Konsi,
Too much
trabaho lamang.
damage. Oh, while this is all happening, look at what Konsi. Oh my god, look at what Konsi is doing.
Oh! Oh! The range!
Over yet, say go home.
Mage ka pala, malayo range mo, pero mas malayo range ko at auto-attack to na may red buff. Ma-update! 500 yung crit min, nasaan layo? Bang! Bang! Bang!
Ang sakit.
Tara mo.
Ang sakit masyado.
Ang sakit kuya Eddie.
I'm trying to think of how. How NXT Monster Academy can come back from this. And I think it's through those kinds of skirmishes talaga. Na na hiwa-hiwalay, pick off kumbaga. Take out the key members of Bren Esports before you fully commit. Kasi kung lalabanan mo sila sa 5-man na magkasama tong mga to, there are too many targets for you to worry about. Assault and Battery, the Charm, the Grand Entrance, the Fiora just going wild, and while this is all happening, si Konsi tsaka si Haze pumipitik sa malayo. Diba? You need to be able to catch them, the key target. And that's the Cyclone. Tatama na nga, pero look at the damage! The damage
Oh,
of
the
Haze!
Tristana!
Natunaw lang!
Oh, the bomb!
The Tristana!
Ang hapte!
Op! Okay, that's one.
That's two.
Ang NGA pop, nagwawala yung Fiora doon. Boom! Mamamatay si Fiora.
Yung Torment, nawala.
Aggressive, but the tower just got deleted immediately. Ontor connects. The Garen's there to try to frontline, but again, damage just being thrown out. Garen is trying to stay alive. The Grand Entrance is not gonna connect, but Konsi again with a follow-up from Haze as well. How can you stop the range advantage of Bren Esports? They cannot close the gap anymore. It's just way too much damage. And then this top lane is starting to become a big issue. No, Fiora is getting way too big. That they're being zoned out habang nagtatrabaho yung ibang members ng Bren. Napakaganda.
Grabe na. Ito na si Tristana. Konsi na bahala rito. Ito dalawang pulilit natin eh, no? Gutom na gutom. Gusto makipagpasabugan. Rocket, bomba. Bahala ka. Ito na. Baron na, sure. Naku, matakot ka na po. Sir, item check tayo dyan, Kuya Direk. Mortal reminder na para sa ating Tristana na 7-7 with a 17k. And lock item na. Frozen mallet pa kinuha. Di na siya kumuha ng GA, tol. Ayaw. Gusto ko damage. Gusto ko extra health. At
Tsaka
gusto
tingnan
ko
mo yung item nyo.
kada barrel ko may slow.
What's the final item?
Frozen mallet.
Diba?
Oo, tapos rapid fire cannon. Tapos static shiv pa.
Added range.
Added
the
range.
proc, the slow, and armor pierce along with the grievous wounds.
Naku
This
po.
is a full item Tristana that will slow down anything it shoots. Okay?
Babagal ka na.
Sobrang hirap na ngang abutan. Diba? Sobrang hirap ng abutan tong,
Babagal ka
tong
pa.
si Konsi. Babagal ka pa. Marireduce pa healing mo. So the sustain coming from Dinyol, completely irrelevant. And while this is all happening, no, etong si Haze, pagkakalintik naman ng damage,
Ay,
diba?
grabe din.
Look at that! That's a Garen! And this just getting wiped out! This is the core already! Onco's gonna connect, but it's just too much! Ladies and gentlemen, it's over!
It's over!
It's over!
It's over!
Oh, Bren Esports 2-0. Like it was nothing. Kaloy, break it down. What happened in this series?
May intention, okay. We know for a fact. NXG, Monster Academy, we can't deny the fact na they're good
They
in their
did what
draft.
they could.
They
Ang
did
ganda
what
ng
they
ginawa
could.
nila.
Ang ganda ng ginagawa ni Yubes. Okay,
But
performance.
it's just Bren one step ahead
It's
yet
just
again.
one step ahead. Okay, they have the same intention from the beginning. Let's break it down. Let's try to break it down. It's much more easier if we look at the graph, Kuya Direk. Di pala, it's a snowball palang story. Pero, I'll just remember it by heart. Naalala mo yung time na nahuli ng Onko yung dalawang miyembro, yung dalawang bulilit natin. And immediately, like you said, itong dalawang ADC, they have enough distance to close out. But Mian was there to save the day. That's where it started. Supposedly, yung NXG, they had the early. They could have had it. But it was cancelled. But by a stellar performance ito ni Mian. As it progressed on, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga solo kills, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga trading objectives. Rebenga doing his best. Wala siyang masyadong damage dealt. Pero tingnan mo yung damage taken niya, Kuya Isaac. Ang kapal! 24,000. Oh, Garen!
Ang damage niya!
Etong damage na tinanggap ng ating NXT.
For the
kasi ilang beses sila pinatay ng Bren. Okay?
Oo.
Pero itong si Rebenga natin, kumpara sa ibang miyembro, siya ang sumalo lahat. Kasi siya yung nagbaburn, siya yung bumabahala, siya yung pronta. Alright?
How much damage did NXT do to Ace? 10k.
10K.
Hindi maabot.
Di maabot
12k
talaga.
para kay Consi. Same case. Bantay sarado.
And
diba?
yung
Bow
early
down to the Ancient One. I will take all the damage so Consi and Hayes can do the damage for me. Diba?
Grabe.
Beautiful, beautiful. Pero again, no, gotta point out, NXT Monster Academy,
Definitely.
learning, experiencing, and growing. Very, very well played nonetheless. Yes, you may have lost, but you have showed a lot of heart and promise to face off against a monster like this. Diba? There's no discounting the performance, and moving forward, hopefully we can see a lot more from Monster Academy. But at the end of it all, no, Bren Esports, pinakita ang hashtag Bren lang malakas, moving to the semifinals to face off against NXG Paradox.
NXT
Ito na
again.
ang tanong, ha? There's a story that we can build up from this, no?
Will it be
NXG Slayers,
Oh.
di ba? They took out Monster Academy.
Let's look at the
They
bracket nga.
They can take out Paradox na. Tingnan natin.
Or will it be a revenge NXG?
Exactly, di ba?
We don't know.
Ayan o. Ah,
Yung
first they
updated
took out
ito.
Nova. They
Okay,
took
okay,
out
okay.
Monster Academy.
Okay, yung
And then they're gonna be able to face off against Paradox. That's
yeah.
another NXG team.
Mm-mm.
Okay, to get to the finals, they have to face NXG again. And then, if they get to the finals, they have to face off against either Comeback Esports, SV Empire, Comeback Esports, or MJF Aces.
That's interesting.
Ganda.
Interesting. Will it be an
Maganda.
NXG revenge or the NXG Slayers? Ay magandang title yan, Kuya Isaac. Napaka big brain.
Di ba?
But yeah, anyway, that's about it. That wraps it up. Salamat sa lahat ng nanood.
Sa lohod.
Sa lohod. Naubusan na talaga ako, men. Wrap up na tayo, wrap up na. Ito na nagbibigay na si, jersey daw. Alright, let's flash it out, kuya. Let's go.
Boom!
Boom, eto. Full sublimation yan, Lodi. What does it mean? What does it mean? Ginugol ko kanina, full print yan in heat. So kahit anong design mo, kung gusto mo, all over the jersey, even though it's a dry fit, whatsoever, it's up to you. It will be on full onto your t-shirt. You imagine, they will design. This is Graphics Avenue, yun lang naman. So, thank you so much ating, first of all, kay Kuya Isaac for being right now, the energy. Itong day 1 and day 2, without you, sigurado, nahirapan ako dito. Matik na matik yan. So, Kuya Isaac, take the floor. What can you say?
Huwag niyo kakalimutan, no? Let's all continue to support each other. No hate, all love, all fun. Patakan tayo pataas. Tulungan natin lahat ng mga pwede natin tulungan. Let's make this Wild Rift community great. And
Yes,
of course, huwag natin kakalimutan, no? I'm Isaac Cas. Ito link ko. Makikita, ito pala. Ito. Makikita nyo dyan. Yan ang link. Follow, like, kayo bahala. Hindi kailangan. Walang kaso sa akin. Ang importante, please, support Tragic Esports. Support the Dauntless streamers, and support Lakan Esports events.
Of course.
This is Isaac and Kaloy! We will see you next time! Bye-bye!
Sana umoutro ha. Okay. Gusto ko lang ulitin. Dauntless streamers, Tragic Esports, Lakan Esports, Wild Rift Love.
me feel like a rebel, but I will not give you a reason to destroy me.